That's real shit.
Was those shoes sleep?
Man. For real.
I want to know it. I want to know it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Where was Shango? Where was Bomber Shango?
No, bro. Man, why is this thing tripping, Jew? Hold on, let me see something. Go live.
What was Barrett? What was Shango? What was Obakala?
There we go.
And
Yeah,
Jimmy God.
you ain't lying, man.
No.
For real.
No, I want to know that. I want to know that. You know who won? Jesus.
Oh, you did at the end of the day. For sure. Hey, put it in the chat if y'all can hear me. Type something for me. Oh, shit, y'all.
Are you live?
Yeah, I just hit the live button and shit. Yeah.
Okay.
I just hit it. Designer pulls out his pecker. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, well, go ahead,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Out of here, man.
All right.
Okay, all right.
What's up? I am Goddess. What's going on? I am Goddess 369. I responded back to you. SOS Rio, what's going on? What's happening? I was just curious. You know, I look at numbers. I'm not necessarily a numerologist per se, because I had always used the Kabbalah, the Kabbalistic Encyclopedia by David Godwin to understand the exact meaning of that number 369. I mean, I ain't look into 369, but you know, I just always like that versus the, you know, simplifying them down. That's always been my homie Number Swami and, you know, other people's thing. That ain't my thing. And so, you know, 3 6. I mean, it's all a derivative of three in a sense. Three squared is six, and then three cubed, 3 times 3. Well, not three cubed, that'd be a lot, but you know, 3 times 3 is 9 in that sense. So it's just interesting. You know, I was just kind of curious to, to your magic when you do that. Um, what up, everybody? What's happening? What's going on, man? Everybody click the thumbs up button, man. We're gonna have a quick but very spot on conversation about Designer. We're gonna read the I was gonna say tabloid and whatnot, but we're just gonna pull up the TMZ story. And then I want to show you, of course, like when you hear this stuff, you read this stuff, you know what I mean? You should be able to pick up keywords, you know, planetary keywords and skills. What up? You know, it's interesting because, you know, like I was talking to Jew earlier, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm gonna do Designer on Hip Hop Astrology TV. Like, man, didn't that nigga pull out his? I'm like, yeah, man. And the first thing he said was, well, that nigga Pluto, right? Because we know that, you know, Pluto rules sex. If it is Pluto, Mars rules sex too, especially when it rules. The ancient craft gave Mars rulership over Scorpio, but Mars is definitely a outward yang sexual expression and whatnot. Um, so it could have been that, you know what I'm saying? And so you will hear things or read things in the story that will fall up under planetary keywords that should get your mind going like, oh, okay, then I need to go look at that particular planet. And it's like, bam, you should be able to piece it together. All right. I am Goddess. Where was you at? You wasn't in class today. I was invading on y'all Saturday at 1 p.m. I ain't doing that again because I only had I ain't messing with y'all on Saturday. I ain't gonna even do it. Not on Saturday. Maybe Sundays, maybe. But then I'm really thinking about throwing up a LRM model on y'all where I just put all this science in one spot and then you got to go through the module and you can't get to level 2 or the next lesson until you successfully pass everything. And I should make it. And if I do it, I'm definitely gonna make it where you gotta ace everything. You gotta get 100% before you can move on. If you ain't got 100, you ain't moving on. You know what I'm saying? Um, because I'm about ready to give it to you, and you just gotta have a very 100% bullseye perfection to be able to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? And so um, I'm thinking about it. All right. What up, everybody? What's going on? I'm not on the YouTube side, but make sure y'all click that like button. If you're new to the channel, thank you for coming on over. Hip Hop Astrology TV. It's where the stars meet the stars. This is where we get to prove, is astrology real? Can you look at planets and be able to foretell, and also foretell is going to the future, which is great, but can you also look at them in retrospect and be able to see, the reality of what has happened? Hold on one second, let me close this blind. All right. So yeah, and like I said before, rest in peace to all the gentlemen behind me. um you know we've all of these cats, um all of them have um three patterns, and it's three patterns that they all have, but every single one of these patterns involve the planet Mars. I am going to make some type of production that will show this. This is very serious stuff right here. Sharita, what up? It's very serious stuff. You know what I'm saying? Um, and it's just really serious. And so if these cats behind me actually were murdered, because all of them were murdered. Every single person behind me was murdered, right? Um, and I'm telling you, the planet Mars was in a certain angle. I think that's really noteworthy to really pay attention to the science here. I want to give a shout out to um, the real 1%, which is you guys, because I swear when I sit back and I reflect, I be like, damn, man, the audience that listen to this is special as a motherfucker. Y'all special, seriously, super special. I don't know why that light doing that on that green screen back there. Is it? That's weird. I ain't never seen that happen before. And so, but shout out to y'all, because y'all special. You know what I'm saying? When you start dealing with, rather you messing with with the imagination and quantum and thinking and trying to exercise consciousness to see if your consciousness can indeed have an effect on your desired upon the reality in the future or the present, or even go back and play in the past. Ooh-wee. That's a good one. To even go back and augment the past with consciousness, mere thought alone, and the repetition of thought. That's pretty freaking amazing. That's pretty cool stuff. Then when you start messing with me and you want to take that in conjunction with planetary, you know what I'm saying, bodies that's moving and timing of events, you know what I'm saying? That's special. You know what I'm saying? You got some cats where they strictly political, or they may deal with a little bit with some money on some real estate shit, but they ain't got no spiritual knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, for real, we in a lane of all on our own. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a part of me that's gonna show you, how I built $1 million portfolio real fast to have assets worth $1 million. So I'm a millionaire on paper. Um, but then at the same time, I know astrology, philosophies, past life regression, we didn't, placebos, it's like it gets, the astral stuff, visualization, or what we would now call manifestation, like it's the physical and it's the spiritual, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wow, dude, that's pretty cool. We in a lane by ourselves. And that's where we start to, again, we differ off from everybody else, in my opinion, because you got some cats that be kicking knowledge and stuff, but it's absolutely nothing that's tangible far as bringing you results from the knowledge. And it damn sure, and it's just knowledge, so it don't trickle down into economics. Now with me, you know what I'm saying, I got over 50 plus people who are inside of private ventures who get paid every single month because we done something in some real estate stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get ready to start really bringing that out more, because I don't even talk about it. It's something that I really don't talk about. You know what I'm saying? But I'm about to get ready to do such, because I honestly believe that those who rock with us, you really in the best of hands, because there's a very unique balance between physicality and spirituality. All right. So, you know, y'all be seeing that. All right. All right. So let's get to today's subject matter. Designer pulls out his, with TMZ called magic stick, his pecker, whatever we want to call it, on an airplane, right? I am going to do a screen share real fast, um because I want to read let me see something real fast. Window, or can I do tabs? The designer tab. Let me see something real fast. Let's share this tab. All right. Yeah, let's read the designer story real fast with TMZ story. All right. So designer charged with indecent exposure. That's going to be a key word, exposure, on a plane. Showed magic stick to flight attendant. Designer is officially facing legal trouble for exposing himself on an airplane. The feds say he masturbated in front of flight attendants mid-flight and seemed pretty nonchalant about it. According to legal docs obtained by TMZ, the rapper is being charged with indecent exposure, and the paperwork sheds more light on last week's bizarre incident, saying he had his penis out while sitting in first class of a Delta flight and was masturbating while in his seat. Flight attendants allegedly told him multiple times to stop, and he eventually was taken to the back of the plane where he was monitored by two of his friends. The FBI affidavit says a jar of Vaseline dropped into the aisle as he was getting up and switched seats, right? After landing in Minneapolis, authorities say that they spoke with designer, who told them that it all happened because he didn't really get much cootie while in Japan and was brick hard when he got on the plane. According to docs, designer said he was aroused by the flight attendant and kind of showed her the magic stick, thinking it will give her encouragement. By the way, designer claimed he wasn't under the influence. That's another keyword. Saying he was prescribed meds, more keywords, in Thailand, but he hadn't been taking them. According to the docs, he didn't appear to be impaired during the interview with the FBI. And here goes designer's statement. For the past few months, I have not been okay. I have been struggling to come to terms with what is going on. While overseas for a concert I perform at, I had to be admitted into a hospital. That's another key word. I was not thinking clearly. They gave me meds and I had to hop on a plane home. I am ashamed of my actions that happened on that plane. I landed back to the States, and I'm admitting myself in a facility to help me. I will be canceling all of my shows and any obligations until further notice. Mental health is real, guys. Please pray for me. If you're not feeling like yourself, please get help. Designer. Okay. So let me stop sharing that real fast. Where is that? Okay. All right. All right. So here is some keywords I saw in that. Do anybody got any keywords? And especially those of you that's in the Patreon, this is important, right? Like I'm giving you this so you can learn this. I ain't shooting this shit to shoot the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I want this to be able to transfer into somebody's life to say, yo, I got it, I understand it, and boom. because you may be able to help people or whatever the case may be, right? So it's imperative that you and the Patreon members, you know what I'm saying, y'all, and those on my Star Network as well, which is way before the Patreon creation, which is the same. Um, this is important for y'all to note. So I saw some keywords such as, and I should have put them on the screen, but I'll tell you, I saw hospital as a keyword. Um, Anything dealing with sex, so his penis was a keyword. He mentioned drugs, although he was not on drugs. That was a keyword. He said he was going to check himself into a facility. That was a keyword. Um, what else did we see here? Exposure, because he was actually arrested for what? Indecent exposure. That was a keyword, right? So let's look at hospital. Let's look at sex, penis, drugs, facility, exposure, right? When I hear these things, I'm hearing planets. Now, mind you, like I'm telling you, this is what happened. I'm hearing planets. And so then what happens is I'm going to go look for these planets and see if there is anything that's corresponding. So get ready, because the first planet I want to introduce you to is this planet right here, which is Neptune. Let me blow it up so you can see it. Neptune, as you see, I have arrows going over here to asylum. Um, Hospital should be here because, and the reason why I put asylum is because asylum is an institution. Neptune rules hospitals. Okay. In fact, I thought I put an arrow there, but I didn't. If you look at the top in the middle, you see coma. When you're in the coma, where you at? You're in the hospital, right? So Neptune rules hospitals, it rules facilities. Okay. Um, I put arrows at hallucination and disorder because it shows that this is a planet that deals with when you are out of your mind, when you're out of your regular conscious mind. Mercury represents the conscious mind. Neptune represents the delusional aspect of our mind. In fact, if you go far right, four down, you will see the word drugs. And we saw drugs. If you go to the third row in the middle, from left to right, where you see coma at the top, go down second to the bottom, and you're going to see confusion, right? So he's not necessarily in the right state of mind. There's some confusion. Drugs was in the story. In fact, he was prescribed drugs, but he didn't take it. And perhaps maybe he wouldn't be in this situation if he would have taken it, right? And then, of course, like I started off, you saw asylum. Okay. So now let's move to some more keywords here. Pluto is the planet that deals with sex. Struggle. Let me move the ticker because you got to see this. All right. What do you see at the bottom? Exposure. Wait a minute. Wasn't he arrested for indecent exposure or exposing the sexual organ? That's both Pluto. Pluto is exposure, Pluto is sex. Okay. Now, let me look at you so I could tell you this. All right. We see it in the story. We hear it. We see it. It's starting to make sense because we know what we're doing when we do this. Like, okay, these are these two planets right here. Now, let's go to the sky because there's always two things in the sky. Y'all ready? The first thing is, where are the planets at when you're born? Okay. Desiigner is said to be born May 3rd, 1997. You see the date up. I'm not making it up. And where you see that cursor at, that's the planet Neptune. The reason why you don't see the physical body of Neptune is because Neptune is so far away on Earth, you cannot see it with the naked eye. You absolutely need a telescope. So I can zoom in there and you will see it. But from the perspective of Earth, that's why you see the little trees and stuff. You can't see it. But that's why Neptune and the left is highlighted because the cursor is on the planet Neptune. The planet Neptune, ladies and gentlemen, appears to be in front of the head of the goat when he was born. That goat will be Capricorn from this viewpoint, right? So that's where Neptune was when he was born in 1997. Now, this will mean what? The planet Neptune represents all of those keywords. It represents drugs. It represents hospital. It represents being confusion, being confused. It represents facilities, right? And so that area of space holds the cosmic memory because the planet Neptune is not right there right now in the sky. That is the most amazing thing about this science, is because the truth is space has memory, because Neptune right now today, this week of the event, it is not right there. It's not. Okay. So now let's go to the event. Okay. 4/24, 2023. You see the date? Where's the planet Pluto? Bam! Bullseye. Boom shakalaka. And it's really just that simple. So y'all just saw when the planet Pluto, the sex, the exposure, got to the same position in space where Neptune, facilities, the drugs, the confusion is. When those align, bam. Now, I saw a comment, right? Where who was that? I Am Goddess said MK Ultra. They got him, right? Possibly. But what if not though? Because see, here comes the thing. I would like to think that the real MK Ultra is really the ultra light waves that is penetrating through your consciousness, which is generated by your brain. Well, communicated through your brain, right? And planetary waves. So that's the ultra light beam that's penetrating, you see? And even if it was an external source, guess what? We now know the formula to be able to look and say, oh, okay, this is where they will likely play the game at right here. You see what I'm saying? But in some cases, let's just rule it out, just for the sake of argument. Let's just rule it out. What if we're really responding to planetary stimuli? You see? And so, that happens. You know what I mean? Because again, these gentlemen behind me, that's they all died on some on nigga time. You know, it was flat out nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? Flat out. Nothing else. Flat out nigga shit. You know what I mean? Um, all of them, every single one of them, nigga shit. You know what I mean? And so we can see the pattern. So even with Desiigner, you know what I'm saying, it's going through a major. Because here's the kicker: Pluto takes a very long time to move, ladies and gentlemen. Very long time. You want to go back? Let's go see something. Let's blow that up. What do it say? Is it going to give us the rotation of that? Pluto takes almost 250 years to orbit the sun, spending 15 to 20 years in each sign. 15 to 20. So even if it go through one sign in 15 years, and I know a sign is 30 degrees, right? So it take it 15 years to go through these 30 degrees, right? 15 years, right? That's a man, that's a grip. That's a grip, man. That's a super grip. Super grip. Like how close is it gonna be in this vicinity? 5, 6, 7 years, not that much, but 5, 10, 15, easy, like close to 5 years in this precise spot, moving very slowly. So he may be under a 5-year influence of this particular energy, you know? And this stuff is important because it represents the phases that the human being goes through. Sometimes we go through stages where, it's, oh, I'm at my midlife crisis. And it was a period of time that may have lasted for, X amount of time. You know what I mean? And so it's just very possible. I'm just looking at this sunlight, that's beaming in. And so, yeah, anyway. So I just really want to show y'all that real fast. It's really that simple. Like, it ain't nothing else to show. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple. So give me some feedback. Y'all got some feedback. In fact, if you wanna hold on, let me do this. I'm gonna do this. If you want to come on, you got a comment, you want to come online with me real fast. Boom. There goes the link in the chat. You can come up with me, hit that link in the chat, and come on and talk to me. Hold on 1 second. Y'all. Let me come on, Sun Ra. Bam, let me go up. There we go. All right, I had to turn the blinds up, reflect the sun a different way. I thought I did, but it's still doing what it do. All right, I'm gonna have to curtain these windows off and go into a dark room. But yeah, if you want to come on, you got a comment, come and join me. Hit that link real fast. You got a question real fast, put it in the chat. If not, man, I'm gonna get back to doing my homework assignment. I'm in the lab working on something for spiritual politics. So shout out to my homie Aaron, because she was like, you know what? You should actually make a video on when the South went Confederate. I mean, when the Confederate South went Republican. And so I'm actually in the lab working on that right now. For the other channel, Spiritual Politics. If you came through last night on Spiritual Politics, man, thank you. Spiritual Politics was fun. Thank you, Sharita. Sharita was in there on the panel. Clove came through. Thank you. I Am Goddess, the up and coming superstar artist, was on there as well. But thank y'all for coming over and whatnot. But yeah, any questions, comments, concerns? Put it in the chat. Hit that link if you want to come on real fast. You know what I'm saying? If not, we're gonna get out of here, man. Hope Desiigner get better. The unique thing about Pluto, though, Pluto is a planet that deals with transformation. It deals with regeneration. Pluto is the energy that deals with basically some point of intense situation that you go through that helps you so I'm gonna make this word up, metamorphosize into something better. It is the caterpillar who becomes a butterfly. You know what I'm saying? That's the Pluto energy, the caterpillar that becomes a butterfly. So he'll be all right. It's just time for a rebirth. You know what I'm saying? But it's just interesting. The planet that represents the sexual urge aligns with another planet that represents this, and then exactly that thing plays out into your life. You know what I'm saying? So another way to look at it is it the planet or is it you when the planet lines up? Very, very interesting. You know what I'm saying? It's it's just a very, very, very interesting study, man. All right. Yeah, Sharita said she enjoyed last night. That's what's up. But anybody, y'all got anything? If not, man, we'll wrap it up. Let me know. Shoot it to me. Manifesting Bliss. I sent your report, Manifesting Bliss. You got some good energy, man. Expansion and health. Make sure you stay on your health. It's a very good year health-wise for you. That don't mean be neglectful. And expansion in work, whatever you're doing on a day-to-day basis, your work, job, that kind of stuff is like really good for you to go hard this year, because there's like massive expansion in the works for you and stuff. So check it out. I sent it to you this morning. Well, not this morning, about within 2 hours ago. Salome B Media says, see, that is why you need to check that mental health. Yes, indeedy, for sure. I am God said maybe he planned this situation before his incarnation. That's why it's in alignment with his placements. That's interesting. Unbeknownst to him, for sure. Because one thing I know is, well, most of us probably don't even believe in past lives, but we damn sure don't have a memory of being able to plan um what our experience is going to be. Dang sure things that are very embarrassing, hurtful, and things like that, traumatizing even, to, serve as, we lose the knowledge. I'm not going to rule it out and say it's impossible. I think that, honestly, in my opinion, I think that the Kabbalah teaches is that we definitely have soul contracts that we have to fulfill, and we are in agreement with these things, because it helps us with this thing called tikkun, which is our soul correction. Um, where I kind of differ or disagree with Kabbalah is the Kabbalah mentions that Jewish women, women are, they have no correction to undergo with their soul. They're actually here to just help men correct. And the reason I disagree with that is because when you get into past life studies, current women have been men and vice versa. And so that rule doesn't make sense to me when you was a man before, if we want to, when we go that far. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah. Yeah, a couple readings are my favorite, man. We did one to this morning. Shout out to um my man Matthew, who was in there. Um Crazy, man. Funny, man. Funny. The spirit is just so on time. Is because, he's like, yeah, my wife is a Leo. Um, Wife had Leo moon. What a coincidence. This dude, not a Leo, but he got a Leo moon. And today the moon is in Leo right now. Exactly where it was for both of them. And I was like, yo, what's the odds of this? And so, yeah. In the Patreon, the link is there for the recording. Go back and listen to it. Um, because they got a homework assignment to do as it pertains to couples. And if you're not in a relationship, then the homework assignment is go pull up somebody that you was in a relationship with, or your mama, your children, somebody, because you got a quick homework assignment to do as it pertains to relationships. And it is dealing with the fundamental building blocks of elemental energy. You know what I'm saying? Fire, air, earth, water, that stuff. So yeah, there's a homework assignment that's there. But I do couple readings, and I think that you gotta be you gotta be on your shit when you come get this one, because it's so easy, but the hardest thing to do is discipline, which means repetition to do what you do, right? So if I say, like when you think about it and you look at the four elements, fire, air, earth, water, right? Well, let's just say, fire represents creativity and passion and enthusiasm. But what if the relationship's energy is predominantly fire, right? So now we know what physical activity we should do. Like, we got to be enthusiastic, babe. We got to get up. We got to go get shit. That's my nature. That's your nature. Let's go. All right, cool. It's kind of like the fire couple was more like the entrepreneurial couple to me. You know what I'm saying? Um, but the sexy part of it, to invoke the actual element itself, is let's light the fireplace. We don't have a fireplace. Let's get one of those fire pits and put it in the backyard. And anytime that we're having a conversation and we're connecting, we light the fire because we understand that that is the predominant element within our relationship. So like for me, I got a grand fire trine in my chart. So if I got something in Aries, I got something in Leo, and I got something in Sagittarius. And so if fire is my predominant element, then hey, let's light this fire You know what I'm saying? And let's have this conversation, and let's use, you know how the romantic fireplace is another element. And if you water, then oh shit, get a jacuzzi or go rent the hotel and get in a jacuzzi or take baths with one another. You know what I'm saying? Invoke water, bring in an indoor waterfall in the house. It's good for chi and energy anyway. If it's air, it's purifying the air through incense. And it's not that you can't invoke all of them. If it's earth, it should be plants. You know what I'm saying? Inside of the place. You know what I'm saying? And connecting on earth, meaning, okay, babe, let's go outside and picnic in the backyard. That's our little special spot. Like if you got earth energy, then you really should turn your backyard. If you got a yard, it'd be super dope if you can get like a koi pond with the koi fish in it, in the outdoor waterfall, and kind of create your own little natural habitat in your own backyard. So therefore, if you got earth and water energy, then that's where you go. And guess what? Like I said before to the group today, is when you look at the tarot cards ain't nothing but different aspects of consciousness. That's all they are. The magician is a very interesting card because it has all four elements known as the cups. The cups is what? Water. You drink out of a cup. Um, which really is an expression of the heart because it deals with that inner connection and intuition and whatnot. The coins is the money, right? So that's the earth energy. The sword, you swing the sword in the air, so that's the air communication energy. The sword is really symbolic for the tongue. And um and then the last one is the wand. The wand is like this magical staff that has this power, which is fire, right? But the magician has all four of these things laid upon his altar. So he's not stuck at his strength of just one of the elements or his weakness at what just one of the element. The magician is striving to, and this is my word, alchemize all four elements and embody those. And it's very beautiful because the truth of the matter is, I always say we got four blood types, we got four chambers in our heart, we got four lobes in our brain. The DNA structure is based off four with AC, TH, and whatnot. Oh, I'm sorry. What is it? ACG That's what it is. ACGT. So that's the base of DNA that goes with this four. You got four direction in the external world. That's why they gave you four archangels and whatnot. And it's just a beautiful thing. So you really have to embark these elements, these energies, and put them into play by doing what I just said. But there's a way that when you understand when you were born, that you can strip this down to its raw cosmic form. And its raw cosmic form is the building blocks of matter, which that's what elements are. That's why you go to elementary school first. It's the building blocks before you go off to where? After high school, you finish 1 through 12, which is these 12 zodiac signs. You go off to the universe, right? You go off to university, but that's where you're supposed to go off to universal sciences once you get your basic building blocks down from the elementary standpoint, and then understand your 1 through 12. When you really understand that, then it's like, okay, bro, let's really move up into some more sciences. And when you get into the more sciences, which that's when I'm putting in the Patreon, that's when we're going to start dealing with some of these laws, such as mentalism, correspondence, rhythm, gender, cause and effect, those type of things, polarity, vibration, right? Those things are very, very, very real. Very real. Okay. Got what I'm saying? So much that you can do with it. Um, man, space is so intelligent, man. See, when you get on this, I'm gonna tell you something. I never forget this. I read this in studying some of the hermetic science, right? Um, it said that the hermetic couple is wise and they never argue because they understand that these fights and quarrels is producing invisible vibratory demons that now feeds off of their aura. I said, damn, that's heavy. You can feel a vibe from everything, right? It's like, I ain't feeling it. Oh yeah, I really like that person's energy. Think about that. That vibe is really invisible energy in the form of a wave, and it's oscillating at a pace that you don't like. That's not conducive, right? That's what that is. And so that vibe or that wave is really the mechanism in which all things come into reality. In other words, they say that, hey, everything exists in the invisible spectrum as a wave. And then the moment that the conditions are right, whether through observation, the wave stops moving and coalesce and turns into physical matter and pops up into this reality. You see? And so if the wave is a negative wave, then in other words, what will happen is the negative energy wave can find someone that has the right matching frequency, they're a negative person, and now this wave comes into them, and this person comes into your life with an attitude, or is the person that ran the red light and hit you. You see what I'm saying? Because it's your energy that you are exuding, whether you conscious of it or unconscious of it, it don't matter. It's yours. And that's really was like we was getting on last night about, women being responsible with men and how you the final gatekeeper, and it's your choice to allow a man to ejaculate inside of you, right? It was all about self responsibility and understanding that everything I experience is because I chose to be in that space at that time. No matter if I was running late and I got into an accident on the way to work, that's my fault for getting up and being late. It's my fault for having that job. It's my responsibility because everything is mathematical. There's no mistakes. There's absolutely no mistakes in our experiences. It's not. It's not. The way that you crack this code of duality is the best book in the Bible to decode that shit was the book of Job. It's the coldest book. That show like Job did not fall for the okey doke. Remember, his wife tried to tell him, like, you know, hey, man, all the shit you going through, you better not, don't curse God. And he like, woman, you sound stupid. That's what he said. He said, woman, you sound foolish. Woman, you sound stupid. The good is from God, then the bad is from God. I'm not about to fall for the trick of duality and be like, oh, this is the devil messing with me. I know that is God. Because, see, remember, in the beginning of that story, the guy, like, devil, where you been, nigga? Oh, man, I just been here, there, just wheeling around, just minding my business. Hey, man, you seen my servant Job? Man, he the one, man. I'm telling you, man, dude got faith, but I need you to test that nigga for me. Let's set this nigga up. Test him. Well, hey, man, listen, God, I tell you what, man. If you move that hedge around him, I think he gonna turn on you. Okay, you can test him, do anything you want to, but just don't kill him. All right, game on. Let me kill this nigga's flocks and sheep, and let me put boils on his skin. Let me do all these horrible things to him. Job ain't go blame the devil and blame somebody else for doing something. Job said, nah, it's for God. God doing this. And then they end the chapter with, for all that Job said, he said nothing wrong. What? What? So you think in the other scripture, I create good, I create evil. I, God, do all these things. It ain't no devil It is and it ain't. It's like, isn't that like on a philosophically speaking? And I think this is what makes people low key atheists, for real, and they don't even know that they atheists. You mean to tell me you ain't never had the basic common sense and be like, God, why you create a devil in the first place? That's kind of fucked up for you to create one. You got the power not to create one. You could have made this thing anything you want to create. Well, he did it for your own free will. Cool. Why? Because you have to come to a place of divinity within self. Okay, cool. If that's the program, but the point is, you never even thought about asking that question. And if you made him, then don't that mean he come from you? And if he come from you, then don't that mean it's really you? Ah, right. But we won't say that. We won't charge that. Hence, this is why Jacob wrestled with the angel of God. And when he wrestled with the angel of God, what happened? The angel, God is a motherfucker. This nigga's the one in the Bible. Oh, that nigga vicious. Oh man, that nigga, he a nigga. I'm sorry, but he is. And what I mean by that is Jacob minding his business in this dark, and then next thing you know, this angel come and he wrestle with him, pop him in his socket. And Jacob like, nah, man, I ain't letting you go. And the angel like, man, let me go, man. The sun trying to come up, nigga, let me go. And I'm like, why are you trying to run when the sun come up? Why you want to be in the dark, right? And Jacob like, nah, man, I ain't letting you go. And shit, until I get a new name, nigga. It ain't all right, nigga. Your name is Israel. Jacob let him go. Then Jacob like, man, I'm gonna name this place Peniel. Peni meaning face, El meaning God. So now I'm gonna name this the place of the face of God because this place is where I came face to face with God. And I'm like, whoa, you can wrestle God and get a promotion. You got a name change. When you contested God, you got a name change. I said, boy, these boys is genius. I want to understand this, man. This is that Ben Franklin Philadelphia Philosophical Society talk. And the reason I say that is because we got to understand that, at the founding of this nation, you just had some cats that was like, there's a whole society that deals with thinking. That's why I said this crowd is special. You know what I'm saying? Very special to be tuned into the mysteries of Christ, to be the mysteries of the Bible. What it's talking about, she ain't talking about nothing that's freaking physical. But it is talking about something that's physical in a sense of the state that you go through, but it's not necessarily dealing with something that's of historical reference. You see what I'm saying? And so, anyway, it's all one. You know what I mean? And that's it. And this is why we got to get into certain studies to understand this oneness that shows up in many. In Islam, it's Allah has 99 attributes. Right? Okay, cool. The 99 names of Allah. Destroyer is one of them. You know what I'm saying? So like, oh, okay. So what you really calling devil, that's really the God, but you won't dare call God devil. You know what I'm saying? Man, y'all tripping. OG Bruce Lee, what's happening? You won't dare call him. The ultimate litmus says, hey, did God create evil? No, God didn't create evil. But then God created everything. And they start pontificating, making up shit. Well, no, human beings created evil because God don't create. But he had a foreknowledge of what's going to happen. And he's the author of everything. So for me to be able to create anything negative, the raw material and the consciousness of the negative comes from the creator that you said is the creator of everything. So it has to come back to this one source. No. It's full of shit. You don't understand it. And this is why it's a major disconnect between the generations in the churches, is because, as my brother Minister Jew will say, and I can't wait till he do it, your pastor don't know shit. And it should just be just like that. Your pastor don't know shit. And don't bleep nothing out. Your pastor don't know shit. Right? Boy, put me on. Let's go find it. I'm about to listen. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on no street gospel. Hold on. I'm gonna share my screen real fast. I'm gonna show you something real fast, right? He put me on. I said, nigga, you lying. You lying to me, nigga. I think it was in Hebrews 6. Let's go to Bible Gateway. Look at that. What do this say? Therefore, let us move beyond the elementary teachings about Christ and be taken forward to maturity. Now, I personally like God's translation. That's my shit right there. God's word. That's one of my favorite translations. Now, look what it say. With this in mind, we should stop going over the elementary truths about Christ and move on to topics for more mature people. Right? We shouldn't repeat the basics about turning away from the useless things we did and the basics about faith in God. We shouldn't repeat the basic teachings about such things as baptisms, setting people apart for holy tasks, dead people coming back to life, and eternal judgment. If God permits, we will do this. So, what do you mean we should stop going over the elementary truths about Christ and move on to the topics for more mature people? What are you talking about? Huh? Huh? They in there talking about some elementary stuff, little baby stuff, right? So, that's my spiel, man. That's my spiel. All right. That's my spiel. But anything else? I don't know how we got there. Sharita, how we get there? How we end up getting into that particular bag? Go ahead, OG Bruce Lee. Hey, hit that link, man. If you want to come on real fast, here, I'm going to pay for it. Man, hit that link if you want to come on. You can hit that link, bro. It's all good if you want to come on or shoot it in the chat. What you got for me, OG Bruce Lee? Man, it was supposed to rain today. It ain't even rain. I see you. I think I see you back here. Hold on.
Let me see something.
What's up, bro? What's happening?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on with you?
So yeah, what's up, man? How y'all doing? You good?
Man, yes, sir. Absolutely, we good. What's the word?
What's up, man?
Hey,
Man, I
nothing,
got a
man.
question, man. I watched the Lisa Left Eye stuff.
Okay.
And what's his name? Bad Moon. Man,
Yeah,
that made me
yeah.
feel some type of way because I'm a Gemini Moon, man. What
You got
about a Gemini Moon curse,
oh
man?
man, the Gemini moon. All right, so the Gemini moon is just good thing you a man, for real, for real. But you may not be out of the woods yet, in a sense. Gemini, late Taurus, and early Gemini is just a malefic area of space, right? Um, it just is. Like Yogananda said it best, which is the Indian yogi that was known for making yoga very popular in the West. That's the only book that Steve Jobs had on his iPad when he died, was called The Autobiography of a Yogi. And in that book, there's a chapter called Outwitting the Stars. And in that chapter, he mentioned that the cosmos is just full of positive radiations and negative radiations. But it makes sense. When you think of a battery has a positive pole and a negative pole. And both of these are conducive for life or electricity, which is life, because we got a heartbeat. Without that, we dead, right? So this duality of these poles is just necessary, right? And so when you get into certain regions of space, certain regions is just what we would call malefic. In the Gemini region of space, I never forget this. There's a book by an author by the name of Dave Campbell, and it was called Forensic Astrology. Dave was so cold and is so cold. He out in nothing. Dave may be in Scottsdale or Gilbert, Arizona. He on the outskirts of Phoenix. And Dave is so cold, the police department will come and consult him if they can't figure it out. You see what I'm saying? So I had Dave on a radio show years ago on Blog Talk Radio. And I was like, Dave, what's the craziest sign? Scorpio? Because I'm thinking, Scorpio is a sign of death. Maybe that's what it is. And he was like, oh no, Gemini. And I'm like, really? Like, yeah, by far, Gemini, right? So it wasn't till later until I started looking at more case studies and stuff like that and just seeing events and whatnot. It was like, oh shit, he's right. You're right. And so it's just a very volatile region of space. Now, the moon in itself, if you think about it, the illusion of it, and hear me close, because it is the illusion of it. The moon looked like it changed shapes, right? 1 minute is full, 2 weeks later it's invisible. Then after the new moon, you see the little crescent, which is just the right side of the moon, and then it looked like it's getting bigger again till it get full. Then it looked like it's getting smaller. So the moon deals with a lot of fluctuation based upon our perception of it. Okay, so it's already what we would call a fickle planet, right? Because that's how it appears. The moon has also been styled to be neutral, meaning the sun and Jupiter are positive energies, Venus is positive energies, the moon is neutral, Mercury is neutral, meaning now if they're in conjunction with any sign, that sign's influence is definitely going to come out more because these energies are kind of more neutral. Saturn and Mars, me and Jew called the Great Malefic. It's not Saturn, it's Mars by far. Everybody behind me that's dead is because of Mars and not Saturn, right?
Yeah, I hear you talk about that.
Right. So the moon is already neutral. And so since it's in a space that is very volatile with negative radiations, then that being a neutral fluctuating body, it's like the energy's just entirely too much and it's unstable. Think about it. Gemini is a sign that represents the duality of the mind anyway, hence the twins, right? So it's this rap that Gemini gets of being two-faced. I only really know one thorough Gemini personally, in a sense, right? And that's Jew. Like far as how he embodies the energy is a perfect blend, right? I really don't even see the fickleness of it. I know some Geminis are smart as shit, but they super smart, but they a big dummy at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, and so if you look at the moon's, the side, the way that it just fluctuates, and then this sign of duality like that, that's too much instability. You see what I'm saying? When we just make that observation. So now the person that's born with that could have some instabilities. Now, Gemini is the mind because it ruled by Mercury, represents communication and thought. So it's your conscious mind. The moon, which rules the next sign after Gemini, which is Cancer, represents our emotional mind. Now, the emotional body, the moon, coupled with the conscious mind of this erratic sign, you see what I'm saying? It just ain't a good combination. It's just too much. It's too much fluctuation. And so it don't mean everybody, and this is not the general, it don't mean, of course, everybody's gonna be like that who got a Gemini moon. But I'll show you an example of what it looks like where it's very artistic as hell, right? And this is a combination. It's not the moon in Gemini, but this person is a Gemini and got the moon in Aquarius. Now, Aquarius in Gemini is like this. It's Outcast, Gemini, the best duo to ever do it and whatnot, is because these two are air signs and whatnot. See, it's only when you deal with the elements, there's only 3 signs per element. So in the air trifecta is Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. Libra is a little bit more, they're a little clingy. They're like a water air sign to us. They're not truly on the side of, again, when you look at the signs that need freedom, right? It's 4 zodiac signs that is perfectly okay with long distance relationships, and they don't need the clinginess of a relationship. and it's Sagittarius, Aries, which are 2 fire signs, and then it's Gemini and Aquarius, which are 2 air signs. You see what I'm saying? Libra don't fall in that because Libra is a sign that rules partnerships and marriages. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
what you mean long distance relationship? This is a sign of marriage. You know what I mean? So they got this little emotional cuddle thing going. I think Libras and Leo make perfect combinations. But anyway, when you look at Prince was a Gemini, but his moon was in Aquarius, right? So and remember, Aquarius and Gemini get along because they're both airy, and Aquarius is a sign of the weirdo. So since Gemini itself, you would think that Andre 3000 was the Aquarius, but he's the Gemini. You see what I'm saying? You would think Big Boy was what was the Gemini, because Aquarius is known as the weirdo in a sense, but it's Andre 3000 that's the Gemini and whatnot. So when you look at Prince embody these type of energies, it's like, okay, artistically speaking, wow, it's weird, but for some reason it was cool too. You see what I'm saying? So there's ways that it comes out, of course, in positive, constructive ways and whatnot. Don't feel bad about it in a sense, you know what I'm saying? But for a man, I would say maybe the mom or the women that you may attract in your life, you need to make sure they are of the intellectual type, because remember, Gemini represents the intellect and the moon represents a woman. You see what I'm saying? So now the women who you attract in your life should be one that is of the mental order of Gemini, who likes conscious conversations, who challenges themselves to learn. You see what I'm saying? Because
My background ain't too loud, is it?
no. So
Okay.
your own inner psyche to a degree is aligned with that. That's what you need from the feminine energy of support and nurturing. Needs to be someone who can articulate, which is Gemini, their emotions, which is the moon. So it's just not an emotional outburst, it's someone who can articulate their emotions. You see what
I
I'm
can
saying?
think their emotion. Yeah, because I'm like that. I'm definitely like that.
Right. And that's what you seek, as we know, as far as some feminine balance in your life and whatnot. Where's Venus at when you were born?
Taurus.
Okay, so it's back a sign in
Back
at
in time,
home.
yeah.
That deals with values and money perhaps as well. So that's pretty cool. What house is your moon in?
6th house. Early
Oh, okay.
degrees in the 6th house.
Oh, okay. So that's a woman that's working. Maybe a work partner in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Health orientated for sure. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's not bad, man. That's not too bad. You know what I mean? It could be with somebody that could be somebody that's health conscious, you know what I'm saying, that works in the health field, you know what I mean, that and they know how to articulate that, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just wanted to know. I'm like, man, you talking about the Gemini moon, the bad
Yeah.
curse? I need to know what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah. That that should just be, I'll be trying to do some things for shock value and shit. But that was crazy though, man. He was born with a moon in Gemini, and they call this dude Bad Moon. Now, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, but it's been noted, when the moon is in this area of space, some very malefic things can happen for sure. And it's part of, you got to remember this too. See, part of the Milky Way rift, right? If that band of light that goes through the cosmos, that goes through Taurus, Gemini, and then Sagittarius, Scorpio on the other side. So that band of light goes through those signs. You know what I'm saying? And again, from the Taurus perspective, starting approximately around 26 degrees Taurus, we start to get up into some very vicious energies around that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Ain't all goal around that area.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we
See, my
start to
moon
get
by
up.
Perseus. I
Okay.
looked it up. I was like, okay, that's where it's at.
Right. And then Perseus, what? Perseus is the one that beheaded Medusa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a mythology story that's really real in a sense, that it may attract some, malefic woman in your life. And that's interesting because again, when we looked at Andre Rise and stuff, like, yo, bro, we looking at you. How is it that you actually magnetize this exactly who you are? You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, it
that's
was
what I'm
crazy how you
saying.
brought up that there.
Yeah. So even last night in our conversation, what we was talking about on spiritual politics, we was talking about, it's women's fault on the men that they choose and whatnot. Again, we're looking at which you attract. Like, we ain't looking at them. We looking at your energy says you're going to attract this, and then all of a sudden it pops up. Which takes me to another question. And years ago, people weren't ready for this. If I looked at your chart and as a baby, and I say, hey, mom, you want to watch, be careful who you allow to watch this child, because this child could be physically abused or sexually abused, right? And let's say you grow up and then you get into an abusive relationship. I told your mom that in the beginning. It's important to, how you pick relationships is very important. So you saw mom getting abused or whatever, and then you repeat that pattern. But I was looking at your chart when you was a baby. So when I'm looking at a chart, that's technically I'm looking at the time you were born, right? I'm not looking at, when I look at your energy by itself, I'm not looking at you today. I'm looking at the time that you were born. So you a baby, you fresh out the womb. I'm looking at that energy and saying, oh shit, you better be careful, because this person can be abused. And then that person end up getting some abuse. Now, here's a question. If that's there, then is it the abuser's fault? And then how is the abuser even finding you to abuse you when you got the markers that say, man, this is easily abused?
Right. It's gonna get
So,
weird.
right. So it would have to mean that we are carrying energetic signatures. It would have to mean that we are carrying a certain energetic signature for us to have the experience, and then it magnetizes itself. Now we can accept it when we're grown, but can we accept it when it happens to children? And you look at it like, better be careful with that. You got to watch who the next thing you know, something happened to the child. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But in truth, and see, here's the thing. And the only thing that makes sense to me is when I had to go to the East and get the information, and it got into the whole karma aspect, the whole reincarnation aspect. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, that justifies why your God will allow something like this to happen to a kid. You see what I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than rap. You know what I'm saying? This is on the soul level. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It goes through these experiences and shit. So anyway, yep.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to know. I'm like, man, I gotta know about that, because my moon, that's the only thing I got an opposition to. That's opposite Pluto. That's the only thing in my chart that's the opposite in my chart. Like,
Ooh, that's
yeah.
tough.
And Pluto in the 12th at that. I'm like,
Pluto in the 12th. Pluto in the 12th. So, are you in a relationship?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. How long?
Since 2016.
Oh, that's pretty dope. That's a nice period. So, like, what, 7 years? Okay, congratulations. So you coming up on the 7-year itch. But before that, have you been in any relationships that's been manipulative? Whether you
I
doing
think
it or
I
they
think
doing it?
so. I don't have relationships where I like the girls, and you feel me, they was manipulators.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
it could be your energy too. You manipulate them. It's a two-way
Yeah,
street. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It could be some form of abuse. You know what I'm saying? Because Pluto is abuse. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a situation where it could turn domestic in a sense. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
I had this
And-
one girl. We both had Pluto opposite moon in our charts. Same
Uh-huh.
moons, same
Uh-huh.
Plutos, and I liked her the most out of everybody I was messing with at the time. And that
Gotcha.
was feeling like we was like playing mind games with each other a lot.
Right. Right. Right.
So yeah, that
Right.
come from that. But that Pluto, I don't know. It's like you were saying, the abuse stuff that's in my family heavy, man. Like on my dad and
Mhm.
my mom's side, heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably. And moon oftentimes is mother, but sometimes it can translate as father sometimes. But yeah. You gotta watch that coding in that sense, because Pluto opposite moon, I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of Pluto moon. Um, I don't like Pluto moon stuff, and I don't like Pluto Venus stuff. Like, I got Pluto opposite Venus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
I don't. It's I don't like it. I
That's
don't
like
like
a natural opposite, ain't it? In a way, like
it.
sign wise.
Sign wise, yeah, but where I got Venus at, it's not. But yeah, opposite. If Venus rules Taurus and then Pluto rules Scorpio, it's a natural opposite. And so it's like, hey, I'm mad at you to a degree. You know what I mean? That oftentimes the opposition comes out to like, hey, I'm mad at you. You know what I mean? So yeah, you just gotta really watch. You gotta watch the abuse thing. You know what I mean? Like how you conflict resolution is the key. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because it's an energy with Pluto that wants us to be able to transform to become better. Hopefully, we don't have to go through the struggle, which is a Pluto keyword. You know what I'm saying? To get there. This is why consciousness is everything.
yeah. That's why I
The
like one thing about
yeah,
being a Gemini moon. You always ask yourself, why do I feel like this? Like you gonna
right,
think about your feelings a lot. I
right.
like that part about it for sure. It makes you like really think about how you feeling and where it's coming from. Like I start digging deep. And I think that's the Pluto side of me. Like I start looking for crazy information on why I felt like this at this time or what's going on with this. I get deep with it sometimes like that with
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
research.
Yeah, because Pluto is a sign that represents, it's a planet rather that represents psychoanalysis. So
Yeah, I
it
see
wants to
myself. I
go
do that
deep.
a lot.
Yeah, it wants to go deep and uncover the hidden truths of the emotional responses that we have. And that's a good way of really balancing that energy out and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
But
I
good
get
thing
to
is
pulling
there.
up. I'll pull up my dad chart, pull up my mom chart. Like I don't got their times because they way back
Yeah,
in the day. But
right.
I look at theirs like from some reason they say my mom Pluto is in. I mean moon is in Gemini, but you know the moon moves so fast you gotta have the time. But
Yeah,
it could
yeah.
be true. Like it could be the same. Like we got the same moon, and then she's a Sagittarius sun
Hmm.
directly on my Pluto.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
directly on my. Then her Mars is directly on my Venus. Like.
Ooh-wee.
We both
So
our north nodes is the same, like north node and Libra. Her north node and Libra. I'm like, wow. And I look at that. And my dad's his moon is in Sagittarius. And he's an Aquarius.
right,
Like
right.
crazy.
Right. What your mom got? What she had on Pluto on what?
Her Pluto, I mean, my Pluto is on her sun. They
Yeah.
conjunct like all the way to the degree, like 3 and 3.
You know what all these combinations mean?
I've been trying to figure it out. I'm like, that's crazy.
You ready for it? You're gonna call me crazy, but you ready for it?
Yeah.
Your mom was your lover in a past life. Real story. Now, see, I'm telling y'all, man, when y'all get ready to go to the next level, right? We're going to have to study
It's crazy.
Dr. Brian Weiss. I'm sorry. Sorry, but not sorry. We're going to have to study it. And so when we start peeling back the real layers of this thing, again, people gonna have to argue with the testimonials and the experiences that people have had. You know what I'm saying? You'll start to see things like, oh shit, we family this go around, but the last go around, the dynamic was different. And when we start understanding that, that's how we start to liberate, which is the whole thing of this experience with human relationships is to work towards liberation, right? It's to free yourself. The Buddhists would call it, compassionate detachment, not to attach yourself to things, um, especially things that triggers a negative emotional response. That's very important to understand that. And so they work for I think it's called Moshka or liberation, right? And so when we start reading into these case studies and whatnot, and we see that the dynamics of relationships change from incarnation to incarnation, then the goal is not to engage in a negative way, because that keeps the cycle going. That makes sense because, like, think
Mm-hmm.
about it. The Kabbalion said, "Hey, man, there's laws to this place, right? And one of the laws to this place is vibration, which means anything that's oscillating, which is the human being, because we got life with the heartbeat and consciousness, and then anything that's moving has a rhythm to it because it's moving. So there will be a pattern that will be produced from it. So, in order for us to stop the vibration, so it won't have this pattern that's reoccurring, because a rhythm is a pattern that reoccur, whether it's a 2-step, a 3-step, it don't matter, it's reoccurring. So, the way that you stop it is by not going to the dance. No, I'm not
Right.
dancing. I'm not engaging. You see what I'm saying? I'm not engaging because the moment that you engage, and this is what we can now see for sure. The moment that we engage, that event has just been clocked by the planets in space. You see what I'm saying? Because we're in space. We keep thinking outer space, like, but we're in space too. The Earth is in space. So therefore,
Mm-hmm.
it's no different than you walk into a room and these two people was just fighting. You can feel it. You ain't hear it, you ain't witness it, but you know it's there. You see what I'm saying? You can tell by their energy. You see what I'm saying? That okay, this ain't right. And so now what happens is it takes on, because it's vibrating, it takes on its own rhythm of its own. So the way that we stop it is by not engaging. You see?
Yeah.
Listen, my life has been one of the realest things when it comes to this kind of conversation. And I can just only share by experience. And experience is this. Y'all know a couple years ago, my second son died, right? On the eve of his 19th birthday. That year he's gonna turn 19. So he passed. And when I asked his girl, well, his girl had told me that he had conversations with her that he said, one day I'm going to come back as a kid and find you, and I'm going to remember everything. This is my son told her that, right?
Dang.
And so me, what I'm like, oh shit, I'm bet go nigga, you a bad motherfucker. If that's your mindset, you know what I'm saying? That's some next level shit. I ain't even ready for that shit, but shit, that's next level. You know what I'm saying? And so she's pregnant, right? And my mom, because he stayed with my mom, and so I never forget. I told my mom, I was like, "Yo, I figured some shit out when I looked at it. Of course, I'm doing my thing. I said, "Oh shit! All right, I know what this nigga's on. I know who he is." And so I said, "Yo, mom, this dude is actually coming back as the daughter." Now that sounds crazy, but I'll tell you this: it is a known fact that when you go and study, the spirit and soul are not the same thing. It wouldn't be two different
Right.
words. They're not the same. Okay. I think a problem that we have in the West is we think they're the same. Spirit and soul is not the same. Okay. And so anyway, my mom go to work one time and a lady reading the Bible. My mom work at a hospital, reading the Bible, and a lady said, "I've been looking for you. I got a message for you." And she's like, "Yeah, you got a grandson that just, that just left here." Like, "No." Huh? Like, "Yeah, grandson that just left." She's like, "Oh yeah." He said, "Don't worry, he all right, and he coming back this summer as a baby girl." And my mom left out the room, took a breath, came back, and the woman said, "Did that scare you?" And she said, "No, my son had just told me that." Right? I said, "See?" So now baby gets here, right? And
That
now
would
it's
have scared
more,
me. I ain't gonna lie.
now
Like
that
what?
the yeah, right. So now my son's mom and is more active. Now, mind you, my son had been with me ever since, like, me and her split when he was 2 years old. But I was in the shit and I tucked him away over to my mama crib because I was in the shit and I never wanted some
Mhm.
shit for him to get caught up. But he's always been under my custody from day one. When he was born, he came home to me and her. When me and her broke up, She decided to sign her parental rights over. She from Thailand. She got Thai parents. They live in Long Beach, California, and they really wasn't happy about the fact that she was pregnant a second time and had two nigga babies, to be honest with you, right? So my son never even knew that side of the family. So now that the child, what appears to be the grandchild, is here, which is really the reincarnation of this nigga, right? Now the mom has a great relationship with the baby mom and the baby, and she's there. But all the while, her and my son didn't have no relationship like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My mom was his mom. You see what I'm saying? And so I don't interfere in that process, not right now. You see what I'm saying? Because I understand that human beings, we're fickle as hell, right? So if I start engaging, I don't want to engage in a relationship and then me and what's perceived to be the baby mom, we get into it, or something happens and then it starts to taint the experience of the new baby or the reincarnation of the kid. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, because back in the day, we used to interview this guy, the doctor, and he was really very well versed on this kind of subject matter. And he had said one of the Indian masters had reincarnated as a baby, and they had called him and let him know that that baby was back. And I had asked him, like, did you reach out? And he said, no, I don't want to interfere in the process. And when I went through this experience, I realized that was the primer, that was the instruction, that was my whole purpose of meeting that guy at that time and him giving me his experience, because that was going to be something that was going to be relative to me and my future experience. You understand what I'm saying? See, it's no different than as a kid. I used to live in Chicago. My mom moved to Chicago when her sister went to Chicago. I lived in Chicago. My neighbor across the street, my friend, I don't know nothing about zodiac signs, bro. I'm in the 4th grade. What the hell I know about zodiac signs in the 4th grade? And dude across the street, Desmond, like, yeah, I'm a Gemini. And I'm like, yeah, man, I don't even like Geminis. And I don't even know nothing about it because I'm just a little kid and whatnot. But now, like, my brother from another mother lives in Chicago and he a Gemini. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, so I'll be looking back in retrospect, like, oh, I get it. There's certain things that for me that I will go through that's really a primer for a future experience. You see what I'm saying? So but anyway, to my point, I don't engage because I don't want to get the clock of karma going again, where I still haven't mastered my own liberation. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
see, I'm gonna tell you something, man. This shit is real. I'm telling you. I'm gonna start interviewing. I'm gonna start really showing behind the scenes of some family shit that got to be
That's why
exposed
you
for.
can't go to sleep behind the
Yeah,
wheel, boy. You will end up in this place again.
yeah, it's for real. And so look, my dad was on dialysis, had a kidney transplant, doing good and shit. But his left kidney was the one, which the left side of your body is considered the feminine side, and the right side of the body is considered the masculine side, right? And so he was stressed from years of stress, and then he started losing kidney, and then he just got his kidney, transplanted and shit. But see, then my mama a couple years ago went through some kidney issues, and it was her right kidney, which is her masculine side.
Uh-huh.
Right now, my mama is the last day of Scorpio, and my daddy is born with a Scorpion moon. So he would attract a woman that's the embodiment of the feminine energy where it was born, where he was born at, into his life, right? Now, Scorpio is a sign of sex and secrets. My mom had an affair on my dad. That's what broke the family up in like 82, right? And so my dad has never forgiven her to this day. I don't care who around, he will mention my mom, right? It can be the goddamn the bed bug lady coming over to spray the building and shit, and he in there, and he somehow he bring my mama up in the situation. He still knows the license plate and make and model of the car. right? I don't want to say dude name, but say his name was Billy Thomas, right? He'd be like, Billy Thomas, gray
Yeah,
1985
come up.
Nissan Maxima, GXA 724. Like that's how he is, right? So
Oh yeah,
he's
and that's breaking him down, boy.
it's killing him. And it's the pain
Yeah,
and the hurt that he's carried for all these years. Now, when you go inside of the body and you look at what's called medical astrology, right? Which used to be called mathematics, but it's medical astrology. Don't Libra, which governs marriages, doesn't that rule the kidneys?
kidneys. Yup.
See? See?
Mm-hmm.
So now you got a gripe with your old marriage partner in the corresponding organs in the body that governs that principle, the marriage partner starts to break down. That's how real this shit is. So the best things as you start to this is why the masters go to a freaking monastery. The nuns go off to their little monastery, whether it be Christians, whether it be, it don't matter the denomination. The ones that truly believe, they get the hell away from society and they
Everybody
go
get
to
away from everybody.
they get away from everybody because at that
Uh-huh.
particular point you understand like, okay, once you start mingling with people, you know what I'm saying, you become what quantum physics called entangled. You see what I'm saying? So now here it is, he's sitting up here hundreds of miles away having this constant anger about my mama, and then next thing you know, years later, her masculine side of her kidney starts to go out. You see? You see? Because he
Yeah,
pulling on her, right?
pulling on it. Yup.
But here's the kicker too. One time she had a cash app and she was using his last name. And I'm like, why your cash app? None of your business. Well, I was just doing that. And
They
I'm like,
still love each
oh,
other.
see? Yeah, that's right. Listen, and everybody say that about my dude. You my mom Angie. That's what her name. You love Angie, nigga. Like, stop playing.
Uh-huh.
You like, and my mom was a super duper is, you know what I mean? But especially back then was like light skin, not that dark skin sister ain't cute. Let me make that clear, but she was the light skin, long hair type, you know what I'm saying? Very, very, very cute. That whole side of the family is gorgeous women, you know what I'm saying? But it gets that real. And so, but yeah, bro, I'm listening to you and listening at them specs line up. It's like, oh, bro, come on, bro. I mean, look at it. Pluto is sex
Mhm.
and partners. You see what I'm saying? Sun, and then you got, the other placements like that. It starts to paint a picture. Then it's like, okay, all right, that's what that was. But the whole purpose is for us to learn to evolve. You know what I'm saying? And learn how to love without attachment. That's why I call it compassionate detachment. More Soul Knowledge TV. What's up, man? Where was you at? You didn't make class today. What's happening? I see you in the chat. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, man. Your mom was your lover, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate the information, man. Keep teaching,
Yeah.
man. I like it, man.
No
You and
doubt.
you, y'all got something going on that's special. I like
Yeah,
it for sure.
appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all dropping the knowledge, the information, and it just helped me navigate my life, man, and make me be better. I'm
Yeah.
trying to be my Saturn return for real. I ain't gonna lie. I
Yeah.
want
I
to
mean,
be on the way there.
yeah, the only thing you got to do is handle your business. You know what I mean? I did a study on that with Jay-Z, with Oprah, with Birdman. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't have the classical stressed out, lost everything. Saturn's energy is all about handle your business. And when I'm
Mhm.
aligned right, oh, buddy, it's going to be a nice manifestation because it represents manifestation. It represents concrete. You know what I'm saying? It represents the things that, it's physical. You know what I mean? Very physical. Ain't nothing spiritual about Saturn. It's physical. Did you put the work in? You put the work in, bet I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? And so, as long as you handling your business, you know what I'm saying, you're straight. But if you ain't handling your business, you ain't ready, you ain't grown up yet, and you at your mama crib and you playing video games all day and you're getting high and you ain't handling your business. And by the time you turn 30, life events based upon the decisions that we made, we feel like life is stacked against us at this point because I'm 30 years old and you ain't, and it's like, bro, if you would have been handling your business, you know what I'm saying, then it's a
Yeah.
different reality. You know what I mean? Hence the Oprahs and all them, they was inking deals because they had been handling their business. You know what I'm saying? So Saturn's easy to deal with as long as you're handling your business and on point.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. You got it, man. No doubt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Peace, man.
Yes, sir. So yeah. Once you say I am goddess, my dad's still mad at my mama too after 30 years. Yeah, man. Listen, man, it's been 1982, if I'm not mistaken. Man, well, I gotta get on the calculator. 2023, man, 1982. Man, that's 41 damn years ago, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, my dude got it bad though. Man, and he funny as hell. I'm gonna have to get this dude on camera. His triggers is Donald Trump and Candace. I'm about to say Donald Owens and Candace Owens, but Donald Trump is that dude's trigger and shit. But my mama is his trigger, but he like her. Man, this dude, this is how bad it is. And see, this is why you gotta watch it. I remember him saying he went to a restaurant to eat and he thought that this waitress was cute. And she was young, and he asked her birthday, and she had the same birthday as my mama. And I ain't even say nothing. And in my mind, I was like, you big dummy, you don't even realize that. Like, what's the odds of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you will be attracted to someone who hold the same birthday as your ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? And so it gets really real like that. For real, for real. You know. Have I seen the movie Origins about? Nah, I haven't seen it. I'm gonna write that down. I haven't seen that. Origins. Nope. Yeah, the Jada entanglements, man. Yeah, you get entangled, man. So you got to be careful. You know what I mean? Because now if somebody else pulling on you, you can be affected by that, man. The whole purpose of the evil eye medallion is to block out negative observation. So that the evil eye, the hand with the eye in it, known as the Hamza. In Egypt, it's the eye of Ra and stuff. Yeah, you got people who are observing you and not liking you, and that's an energy in of itself, right? So yeah, you got to be real careful who you engage with, because once you entangle with them, they could be making some observations. um and I'm of the belief that, even on the most minute scale, when anything happened, is that because there's signals that's coming towards you in the form of thoughts from other people that may not be of the best. So therefore, some events didn't happen to mirror what those thoughts are to a degree. And so this is why it is said that you should banish or pray every single day, every day. Because what you're doing, have you ever bent down and then you bent up and came back up? It was these little blinking things. You see them, these little blinking things, like, you can see them. There's a way you can fix your eyes too, and you can see prana energy just flowing through. Elements are neutral. Some are neutral, like a neutron, right? They're neutral. And so if a person is sending a signal, then they can be the carrier of that signal because they're neutral. So then what you have to do is you have to build up a positive force field through prayer, banishing certain rites, that says, okay, any negative come in, but I got positive around my aura, it gets neutralized and it don't penetrate me. You see what I'm saying? So that becomes the name of the game in the practice. You know what I mean? And again, being very selective. This is why Ruby, like, Ruby is dope. We're gonna do something together. She want to do something. I tried to get Ruby on last night over on Spiritual Politics, but she's such a Pisces that she is so, I've never seen someone so protective of their own energy. But Pisces is by far the most susceptible sign of them all. If you got water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, you go out in the public, you can all of a sudden be feeling some type of way because the energy of the environment. Water receives, it's magnetic, it receives energy. So you got to be careful who you go around. And I'm that way too. I don't have strong water placements, but I'm a Cancer rising. Um, it's why I don't really frequent events and stuff because people's energy, and I damn sure don't like smoking weed and being high around people because I'm entirely too sensitive. You know what I mean? But you can take on people's energy. So, you gotta be, you gotta guard yourself, man. Seriously, you gotta guard yourself because this entanglement thing becomes very real, very real, very freaking real, really real, you know. And it even goes so far as, you can be going, what if you're going under a Mars transit, right? And it's like, hey, bro, you could be in an accident and shit. And and but when you go down the street, there was another car that was in an accident. So, what if the negative energy is trying to get you on your way, but it got somebody else where it sees you as where you see it because you're on your way, but you are aware that you're in a timeline where accidents could very well happen to you, but now you're seeing it around you. So, what if it's happening around you because it's trying to get to you? That's just a thought. Okay. That's just a thought. All right. All right, man. I know some people may be like, oh shit, I thought we was talking about Designer. You got to go back to the beginning of the episode. It's an hour and 35 minutes later. Go to the beginning. But sometimes we just roll that way. All right. All right, man. Your wife is a Cancer rising. Yeah, I'm Cancer rising, man. The gateway to Sirius XM radio with the dog star. Sirius is in the constellation that look like a dog, which is so bright it is said to be a sun. It's our sun's sun. That's what some people say. Um really strong energy. Really strong energy. Approximately right now about 14, 15 degrees Taurus. Back in the day, at the whole founding of the country of July 4th is predicated upon Sirius. It takes 50 years for Sirius and its companion star to revolve around each other. This is why we got 50 stars. And then it's set at that time approximately 13 degrees Sirius. I mean, 13 degrees Cancer. We saw the sun perfectly aligned with Sirius around July 4th. And that's why we got 13 stripes. And so the United States of America is a Syrian-based calendar system, a Syrian-based country. You know what I'm saying? And we got to take our country back. And this is why I'm about to get my American flags and shit. Like I'm serious about that shit. It's our energy. You know what I'm saying? It was architect for, like, what made George Washington allow Benjamin Banneker, a black man, an astronomer, to design Washington D.C. Right? Where he get that from? I'm gonna show you guys something. See, I like this shit. Like I like, and obviously y'all do too because y'all sitting here, right? Let me share my entire screen real fast, right? Let's go over here real fast. George Washington to the G. See it in this picture right here. Why is that black man back there standing with his hand in his vest pocket as if he has some type of cryptic message? Now, it's a fact when you start looking at war generals' pictures, they have their hand placed in their vest, right? This is, I forget what his real name is, but when you look at, they used to try to say Prince Whipple, but I forget what his real name is. They're gonna make me go find it. Um, here go one. The Black Man in the Revolutionary War with George Washington crossing the Delaware. Here's a real good one. His personal aide, I forget what his name was. But my point is, in showing you this, right? Let me come back to StreamYard and stop staring at. My point is, what is the transmission that these white founding fathers are getting to align this whole country up with something that was absolutely African, black in its origin? When you're dealing with Sirius and dealing with Egypt, dealing with the Dogon, then comes Benjamin Banneker, then comes this black man with his hand in this thing that's helping them on some cryptic message type shit. Like, what's going on here? You understand what I'm saying? What if, and this is why you listen, man. I started thinking about the schools of thoughts that I went through, right? Like Nation of Islam, RBG, right? Sufism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Kriya Yoga, Freemasonry, Rosicrucianism. That's just to name a few. You know what I'm saying? The point of that is, right? Let me digress a little bit. Why would where's this transmission coming from to make these things point back to us? Like, for real, make it point to us. And I said it before in an older video. Like, when you look at 50 Cent, right? Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent, 50 stars. But 50 Cent has a network, or 50 Cent series, whether it be Power Book, was on Stars, right? 50 Cent is a Cancer, maybe like July 6th, right? The sun is still in alignment with Sirius, right? So is the power in the stars? You understand what I'm saying? And so these people, like Juice said years ago, the hieroglyphics ain't on the wall, man. The hieroglyphics is walking through the individual now. It's living through you. You see what I'm saying? It ain't stuck in static no more. The God code frequency is through you. Hence, the book could tell you, do ye not know that you are gods? Oh, y'all don't know that. Y'all don't know y'all gods, right? So ain't nobody on here. I don't need that. So you don't know you God. Oh, okay, right. So now again, the energy is pointing to us. So if it's pointing to us, then it's for us. Shout out to Fubu, for us, by us, right? So what I had loved about the Moore school of thought was the Moors has this legend that they knew that they were about to fall under European Christendom, is about to really rule. 1492, they get kicked out of Spain, the Alhambra decree. Both Jews and Moors of African descent are kicked out of Spain. The Alhambra decree. This is a historical fact. But the Moors took it upon themselves, because remember, the Moorish age is the age of the guilds, the stones, the architecture. They took it upon themselves to initiate certain Europeans inside of a fraternal brotherhood known as Freemasonry. And then they went on further to say that these Freemasons are the custodians of this information, and they are waiting for you in the future to wake back up. And when you do, the keys to society will be given to you. And I thought that was some G shit. See, I'm at this point of my life right here where I don't like where the country is at. I really feel like Donald Trump, where it's like, I got to do something. I just can't sit here. I love the country and love the people too much. This is some bullshit, right? That's how I'm feeling, right? And so, rewind a little bit. The reason I went through Freemasonry was twofold. One, I can't stand the idea of you telling me that white men are superior and this is their system where they're running the world, and I can't speak their language. Where black people got their own thing going, that's got the same degrees and same communication, right? And there's a fraternal recognition that takes place in the North. It just happens in some states down south a couple years ago, where there's fraternal recognition and whatnot. I couldn't stand that idea as a man. I can't stand that idea. And two, if they were put there for us, then how am I ever going to retrieve it if I don't come in and understand the knowledge? And like, see, black folks be pump faking, man. Nigga, this conscious shit be pump faking like a motherfucker. They be walking around here talking about they got 360 degrees of motherfucking knowledge. They sit up here and talk about they God, they the black man, they the owner, they the original, they the maker, the cream of the planet Earth. And how you got 360 degrees of knowledge and your ass can't even fucking tell me the damn 12 zodiac signs in order? What kind of fucking knowledge is this? What are you talking about? You see what I'm saying? And even with certain Masons and even white boy Masons, I can't stand the fact that how dare you possess the 32nd degree of Freemasonry and you can't even tell me the 12 zodiac signs in order? That is an abomination to the esoteric school of thought. Like, that don't take place. That's impossible, right? So anyway, if they got these keys, then I got to go get these keys. I've just always been that nigga. I've been the one I'll go hit the highway to go get the plug. I've always been that dude. Like, I'll go get it. I'll try it and go. I will try that shit, right? So if they got it, then I want to know what they got. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's certain things that's in there that points to us. I never forget Philadelphia. You walk into number 1 North Broad Street, directly from City Hall. The address is number 1 North Broad Street. As you go north Philly, number 1 North Broad Street, the first building across from City Hall on the north side on North Broad Street is the Pennsylvania Masonic Lodge, the Grand Lodge, meaning all of the white boy lodges in the whole entire state of Pennsylvania answers to this building right here. It's also a museum. When you walk in, you come up some stairs. When you go to the right, you're forced to turn left because the hallway is a right angle. When you turn left, as soon as you turn left, on the wall was the famous picture of, I'll show y'all the picture. Let me go back and share my screen. Because if I'm lying, I'm flying. And I just wanted to know, you're going to have to tell me, why the hell do white Europeans got this, right? Which was, hold on, George Washington and Benjamin Banneker. It's right here. It's small. Boy, I wish I can find. Let me see if I can find a bigger picture. It's very small, very small. But in this picture, let me see something. There we go. There we go. There we go. Come on, man. Get the hell out of here. Why has Benjamin Banneker got the same attire on as George Washington? That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all can kiss my butt. Like, nah, man. They got the same color and attire on. And the person who's standing up is the person of authority, because we see who the presenter is. Stop playing with me. And this is very Masonic. George Washington's a Mason, because on the right side and the left side, you see two globes. The left side, you see the celestial sphere that represents astronomy and spirituality. And on the right side represents physicality, known as the two pillars. Y'all want that Masonic? You want the Masonic secrets? It really ain't no secret. It's understanding how goddamn cosmic spiritual science intertwines with the physical reality on Earth. Step through the goddamn portal, step through the gateway, and learn this shit, right? So Benjamin Banneker is the one that's presenting the information. So why is it when I go to number 1 North Broad Street, right? When I go to number 1 North Broad Street, the white boy Masons got this standing, I mean, on the wall, beautiful oil, beautiful, as the very first picture you see. What kind of white supremacy is that? You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to do something on spiritual politics on that. What kind of white supremacy is that? It don't make sense. You see what I'm saying? It don't make sense. We got to do something. And I know what we got to do. I know what we got to do. I know what we got to do. I got 13 land parcels. 12 of them I can develop. The one of them next to the apartment building, I want to leave it the way it is. I got 12 land parcels. Vacant, wooded lots that we can do something on. 12 of them. What a coincidence. 12. 12 of them. We build our own thing, right? And really, really do our own thing. And I'm damn near contemplating having some goddamn babies, because I believe in humanity. I think humanity is on a fucking crash course of extinction with the shit that I'm seeing out here. In order to preserve humanity and even reverse the bullshit that's out here, we're gonna have to participate and create. Now, if you want to run and get away and escape, I get it. Cool, I understand. But if you're gonna be here, I can't be here and suffer, man. I ain't never been your field nigga. I'm Benjamin Banneker. I'm the freeman walking around here. While they were slaves, I'm walking around here as a freedman. And if I was a slave, I'm Nat Turnering, because I'm not staying. I'm bailing out at the first chance I get. I will not stay. I cannot do that. I cannot work under the subjugation of something that I don't like. It is, you cannot force that upon me. As a man, it is so icky. It's nasty. So now what we got to do? Well, we got to start consciously creating on every single plane. When it comes to this money, it comes to this real estate, it comes to this land, it comes to spirituality, it comes to this food, it comes to these babies, it comes to this information. When it comes to every single thing, right? We're going to have to be intentional about every single thing. I had a concept, and I think, what if the goddamn Ku Klux Klan sat back after they lost the Civil War, right? After they lost the Civil War, what if these motherfuckers said, you know what? We're going to infiltrate government and we just going to take it in the future. Watch this. Watch this. See, we got the right shit today. You caught me on the right one today. Watch this. Hold on. Show you what I'm working on. I got no problem showing you. This election right here in 1948, between look at Louisiana, them orange states at the bottom. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and South Carolina. This dude in the middle, this cat ran as a Dixiecrat. Basically a Confederate. That's why those Confederate states in the Deep South, as it's called, voted for him. The blue is the Democrat, The red is the Republican. All right. This dude ran as a Dixiecrat in 1948, 100% Confederate. That was their goddamn logo for the election in 1948. Okay. What if these fuckers infiltrated the US government? And maybe it ain't about black and white no more. Maybe it's about crippling America, the place that you live in, right? Like seriously, it's just a thought, right? And so when you go back and you look at these elections, and what I'm doing is I'm looking at blue. This is FDR. FDR was a president for a very long time. Look at this right here in the 28 election. The South is blue. Look in 24 election. The South is blue. Democrats. Again in 1920. What if the Democrats actually crafted up a plan to hijack America? It's just a question. It's just a question. It's just a question. Just a question. To derail this thing and put it on some type of crash course. Because it's a lot of shit that ain't adding up to me. Now, how do we how do we cancel that out? Do you run for body politic? Maybe too late for that as an individual, but it ain't too late to get your lobby on and start knowing who's who and start playing. And then start grabbing your local shit on every level. Your local shit. Meaning, hey. I may want to have a conversation with the city treasurer because I own properties here and I got an idea. See, when you a boss, like Trump, it'd be like, yo, some tax abatement shit. I'm about to spend a whole bunch of money. I need a conversation with the treasurer. I don't want to pay no taxes on this for 3 years, 5 years, or whatever the case may be, because I'm about to help you out. You see what I'm saying? I'm about to increase the value on this, but I want to pay taxes later. Right? It's called tax abatement. Right? But in order to make that happen, we need to be politicking. We ain't even in the right circles to be politicking. You see what I'm saying? And so when I say come live with me, I'm for real. I'm not bullshitting, y'all. I swear to God. You think I bought this land for something? Like, I ain't buy that shit for no reason. Like, I'm serious. I'm like, all right, who's who? You know what I'm saying? Who's who? You know, who's who? Raise your hand. Who's who? Because it's getting to that point where it's like, all right, it's game time. You know what I'm saying? It's game time. It's game time. And this is why, and y'all gonna do it. Here, I'm gonna give y'all something. I'm gonna give y'all some homework assignments and I'm out of here because I want to keep y'all. Hold on. I'm about to put it in the chat. I think y'all should do this. I did this. I had my household do it, see where my kids is at. And I also gave my motherfucking daddy this shit. Democrat ass nigga. I'm curious next time I see y'all, or if you got my email, which is nobleampu@gmail, where I'm at, drop it. It's funny. And this is what I mean by my brother with another mother. Here it is right here. I just put it in the chat. Y'all go take that. Go click on that and see where your ideology lies at on the spectrum, on the political spectrum. What a coincidence. Me and Jew, and I took it first and I put him up on it. Yo, take this. Me and him scored the exact same. But like my daughter said today, you talk to your best friend. I said, who, Jew? I'm like, yeah, I just got off the phone with him. Y'all brothers. Right? And my own daughter telling me this, right? But we scored the same, right? Like this becomes important, man. Seriously, because there's like a divide, and there's the middle line. In the middle line, I'm cool, but there's but when you far on one side and you on one side, like it ain't no mixture. You know what I'm saying? But if you in the middle, it's like, oh, okay, we all can kind of be right there. And you're gonna have to give and take something. You know what I mean? But check that out. Take that. In fact, I'm about to go post that in the Patreon too. So if you're in the Patreon, I'm very curious to see where you line up at. But y'all take that and yeah, man. Yeah, Coco D. It's about transforming it so we can do what we do. And I'm just gonna flat out say it. God damn it. Vote Trump. Fuck that. Vote Trump. I'm saying it. You know what I'm saying? And I think YouTube be on that bullshit, and they do be on that bullshit, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Rumble is knocking your ass out the park right now, and will continue to knock you out the park because it's a great divide that's taking place where we at a point now where we got to pick sides. We at a point now where again the planet Pluto is in Aquarius now, just got there, and that's exactly where it was in 1776 in the whole American Revolutionary War. Even when the shots first fired in 75, it was right there. You know what I'm saying? So there's a revolution that's taking place, and we got to do something. All right. So I know that a lot of people don't vote. They don't care to vote. You know what I'm saying? They don't believe in the system, and I totally understand that. I'm with you. I understand that. However, seriously, homeboy got dementia, in my opinion. It's my opinion. And I was watching some Australian news, and they were saying, dude, one of the news dudes was like, listen, I was one of the ones that used to make fun of Joe Biden and was like first doing it. But at this point, it is very serious and it's a medical condition. It's not even funny to laugh at this no more. This dude does not have the mental competency, literally. And if we hold out and not do nothing and sit here because we don't believe in the system, then it potentially gets worse under this. It's utter bullshit. I'm predicting they're not going to even let Joe Biden debate Trump or anybody from the Republican nomination. That's why they actually made a video announcing his rerunning versus him saying it because he don't have the mental competency to say it because he's losing it. He's losing his mental faculties at this point. But what do you expect that happens when you get of older age? And this ain't no joke. This ain't no slight. This ain't none of that. It's just a fact, Jack, that you are losing your mental capacity. So for us to stand by and not do nothing, that's like being on a team and not blocking. You don't want to do nothing. I mean, we can't be like that. We cannot be like that. And nor does that venerate those who fought for this particular opportunity. Now, if we ain't gonna be like the Declaration of Independence type, and I ain't seen that yet, where it's like, oh fuck that, we about to dismantle the whole thing because it's the people have a right to abolish a form of government that they feel is being abusive. You do. Declaration of Independence stand on that, right? But we ain't at that particular point. So if we ain't at that particular point, then we need to go do something. And I'm telling you, I've been said it. Trump is the type that's going, he likes deals. His fucking first thing is the art of the deal. The only thing that we got to do, and I've been said this shit, only thing we got to do is go after federal owned lands. And that's why you now see Trump saying, listen, I'm going to buy some affordable land from the federal government and we're going to create 10 cities out of that shit. Even if Trump loses, that's going to be his move to create our own cities. Like to create your own city within a county, to create your own what they will call a village, man, you only may need like, okay, man, just get 10,000 signatures right here. You go into county, every time you go into a city, don't you notice a sign where it say enter corp? You're entering the corporation, the business of the city of Philadelphia. But when you was right here, was unincorporated, was the county. So now there may be an entire suburb that's technically not incorporated. You see what I'm saying? So you can actually do this. You can turn a neighborhood. I never forget them. Watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna show you the most ingenious thing, and it's beautiful. It's actually beautiful. Let me go pull up a map. Let me see something. Where is it at? Here it is. Let me zoom out. Let me zoom out. And let me come share my screen with y'all. This is how we got to move. We got to move like our Jewish brothers and sisters. Now, look at this. This is a place outside of Columbus. It's in Columbus, Ohio, technically. This rectangle square called Bexley is a Jewish neighborhood, but it's its own city within Franklin County. Okay? Facts. So when you go to the right of it, you go to the bottom of it, you go to the left of it, you go to the top of it. Every side of this rectangle, because it ain't nothing but a neighborhood, every side of this rectangle, and they tell you in the 2020 census, it was almost 14,000 people living in this neighborhood. That neighborhood has its own police. That neighborhood has its own mayor. And then you know what that neighborhood clearly has done? It has contracted with the county, right? It's contracted with the county for certain municipal services. And then you start contracting your Rumpke's, your trash, stuff like that with these independent companies. But they're in literally, and this is no bullshit, as you can see, this is in the middle of the east side of this city. They just took them a couple blocks in each direction and carved them out a nice little rectangle and created their own city within the city. Y'all can miss me with that. You can miss me. Seriously. That can be done. That can easily be done. And the only thing we got to do is you here that's on some spiritual shit. The moment that we start talking like this and thinking like this, and this can sound crazy, these ideas start to get transferred to the ones that actually can make it happen. So it's sort of like we're programming them. See, that's what it's about. The real MK Ultra is us coming with the right thought to program that and shoot that out and then allow that to manifest itself. So we ain't even really got to do a lot of heavy lifting too much, for real, if we be diligent enough to practice a constant vision of what we desire. That's what time it is. All right, Nebula, what's happening? Vita Moore, what's going on? All right, you a stress sideliner? You're a stress sideliner. Who? Somebody else tested that. Who tested stress sideliner? Yeah. So yeah, you in the middle in a sense. Like yeah, you can go both ways. Yeah, either or, right? And I totally get it. You know, you're a stress sideliner. That's funny. All right. Right. So unincorporated Harris County, just outside of Houston, is unincorporated. And so now you can look into the steps of what it takes to get incorporated. Well, you may need X amount of signatures to go ahead and try to get incorporation. So now it's like, okay, I don't know if y'all seen that movie. I forget what it's called. It's on Netflix, but it was about what's my man named Osho, right? Osho was an Indian guru who went up to like Oregon. And them bad boy, they took over the Oregon community, had them white boys and white women madder than a motherfucker. They started bringing homeless people up from California and all over the country, bringing them up there, signing petitions and whatnot, making them citizens. And then they actually took the name of the city and renamed the city. Oh, he got them good. He got them good. I don't know if y'all seen that on Netflix, but I forget what it's called. What is that, man? But that was a good one. That was a good one. But they literally, what's that? The Osho movie on Netflix. I think it's called Wild Wild Country on Netflix. Wild Wild Country. Check that documentary out and watch how they took that town and renamed the town. You know what I'm saying? And so it could be done. It could be done. It could easily be done. I always thought Detroit should be it. You know what I'm saying? I always thought Detroit was it, and also Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And I think just like every city you go to, major city, you got a Chinatown and stuff. I think that as part of a reparations bill, in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Even when you go to certain cities, they got a lot of a gay strip. You know what I'm saying? When you pass like a reparations bill, whether it be African American town or whatever, you can be a member of that, and then y'all got your own district. So, you carve out your own district, man. You know what I'm saying? Within a city. So now you ain't gotta be uprooted. I don't want to leave Texas and go to cold, ugly Detroit. I don't want to leave Detroit and go down to hot Florida. You know what I'm saying? But now you got districts within that. And then, like I said, you also go after these federal lands, right? And when you look at the 1862 Homestead Act by Abraham Lincoln, what was the movie I just said it was? It was it's Osho. It was about Osho, Wild Wild Country. Um, Spiritual dude who took, basically, people went to, I think it was Oregon, and then they end up taking over a city and renaming the city and whatnot. But if you look at the 1862 Homestead Act by Lincoln, Lincoln was telling black folks that, if you had the intention to become a citizen, you were eligible for these federal lands going west of the Mississippi River. And let's just say the cost was $1 an acre, right? And so part of this thing is, then what we should do is, if $1 an acre in 2023 is the equivalent of $40 now, then we should be able to get federal lands for today's inflation price to match what that price was at $40 per acre. You see what I'm saying? And that's how we can institute, whether it be special field order number 15, 40 acres in a mule, but we take these federal owned parklands and whatnot, and we buy it at that prorated rate, or that locked in rate from 1862 Homestead Act. You see what I'm saying? And so it's the kind of shit that I be thinking about, man. But most importantly, the thought is nothing without the action. And I'm busy to a degree in my own right, but it's why I'm slowly but surely trying to build my Voltron team around me, of people that are really implementers. Um, because I do need you to go downtown and handle some shit. You know what I'm saying? For real. Or set it up and then I can take it from there type shit, because I'm running multiple businesses. You know what I'm saying? On a daily basis. You know what I mean? For real. And that's just the truth. Right. um, and I'm gonna tell y'all some other things to take. I'm about to drop some shit in Patreon tonight. But there are two type of hear me closely. This is the success. This is how you build a successful team, right? And I'm gonna deal with the physical. This ain't even got nothing to do with the zodiac shit. That's a plus, right? But let's just stay in the world of physical and business, right? How you build a successful team is, you got to understand that there are two main types: the creator and the implementer, also known as the visionary and the implementer. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is, I'm about to give y'all some game. I'm gonna take y'all. I'm gonna drop the link. So it's called Rocket Fuel. Is it Rocket Fuel Vision? No. I'm about to give y'all the visionary and integrator test. Okay. So it's called the crystallizer assessment. I'm about to drop it in the chat right now. Okay. This is very important. And you may be a balanced person, and that's cool. I just put it in the chat. Okay. The premise is, either you a visionary CEO and you got the ideas, or you are an integrator, someone who can take those ideas and make it work because you know operations and systems. That's your thing. Okay. Some people may be balanced, and that's cool. But obviously, you want to have the opposite of what you are, because that's your complement. The CEO needs a COO. Okay. Chief operating person. You need that. So you need to take that test right there. Okay. To see where you stand. And then when you build in the team, you have them take that to see if they're the opposite of you. Okay. All right. Then the second thing is going to be the disc assessment test, which I think I'll be taking it right here at this 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I do. This is one of them that I take right here. So this is a long, big old link, but I'm about to drop that in the chat. Okay. Bam. Right now, with the DIS personality test says, hey, listen, within these two type of individuals, they're going to express themselves in four ways. What a coincidence. Didn't I tell you about them four elements, them four blood types, and all this four that's inside of us? So the D in the I is more like fire and air. The D's are like the drivers. Like they can get up, create, get on YouTube, run their mouth, whoop de whoop. They driven, right? The I's are the influencers. So they're kind of like social media influencers, Gary V type of, you know what I mean? These people can talk, charm, and whatnot. They can influence people. So these two are more of the masculine type of fire and air, right? See, more so knowledge TV said my wife talks about this a lot, and it's just because it's the truth. She own it. And then the S and the C, S is support. These people play the supportive role. Come in, see what you got going. Okay, cool, no problem. I ain't trying to be number one, ain't my thing, but I'm gonna make this shit work. I got it, right? And then C represents clarity. They pay attention to details. Probably good with spreadsheets, shit like that, right? That's not my strong suit. I do it because I have to do it. But if I had to choose one, I'm more of a D and an I. But I play CFO because I have to be CFO. You know, well, I don't have to be. Well, I have to be CFO in the beginning, right? And so you take that on the DIS assessment so you can understand again where you're at, because you're going to need somebody that is on the opposite side, right? So again, I'm a visionary integrator balance, but I want to play more the visionary role. So give me somebody that's an integrator. And then within that integrator, I need them to be more on the support side or the clarity side, preferably clarity in a sense, because I know they're paying attention to some details, but they need to be down there. So they need to be integrator support or integrator clarity. And those, and it's going to rate you in percentage wise out of 100% on this whole disc. How much is he? Are you 25, 25, 25, 25? Are you, 50 and, 25 and whatever it may be, right? So it's going to rate you. And this is how you build your team. Corporate America build their teams like this, man. And this is how we need to build our personal teams. Okay. For specific functions. Okay. So what good is it? You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, my guys, my partners, my two real estate partners, D and I's. You know what I'm saying? More D's, but more D's. Definitely D's. They ain't I's, they D's. But they damn sure are not S and C's. They are not. Neither am I. I have to be. I discipline myself to be, right? So I play, a couple roles and whatnot. But they're not S and C's. So I wouldn't dare bring somebody in the office that's a high D to be my partner. You know what I'm saying? Unless they was in sales, they driven to be sales orientated to do that portion of it. But if it ain't that, it ain't gonna work. All right. All right. So check that out, man. Check that out. Man, we covered a lot today, man. We didn't went into politics. We didn't went into some quick history. We didn't went into Desiigner. You know what I'm saying? I may have to. I need somebody on the YouTube side to take these videos and clip it up. You know what I'm saying? And pay attention to the details. And be like, all right, bro. There's a lot of segments in here, from relationships to compatibility to history. Like we can take some clips of this and clip that up and bam, bam, bam. You know what I'm saying? And so it is a Mercury retrograde, but for me, I am coming back to something that I did put out there. Like I said, I got the space and whatnot. I got some space where I could really trade off you. I got a place to house you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if y'all see me do videos over at the apartment, where all my plants are at, which I'm about to go visit shortly, because I got to water my babies. I know they mad at me. But I got a place where you could stay, you know what I'm saying, and we could put some work in. But just keep it in mind, you know what I'm saying? Like sky's the limit, especially in this sector of real estate, sky's the limit because you can't put no cap on sales. It's all about generating a deal. You know what I'm saying? And when you don't have money, you better get rid of fear. Because when I first started on my way in this journey of real estate, um, I just ain't really, I ain't never been afraid to ask people for something anyway. You know what I'm saying? But when I first started, my very first wholesale deal in 2019 came from me taking a yellow piece of paper, a notepad, and a red ink pen, and writing a letter that said, "Hi Teresa," and that's her name. "Hi Teresa, my name is Noble, and I buy houses for cash, and I can close fast. I saw your house, 530 Gates, and I would love to buy it. Please give me a call." That's what I did, and she called me and she made an agreement with me that she would sell me that house for $50,000. I emailed her the contract. She signed it. And I said, in 30 days, which will be we closed that deal in April, but in 30 days, I'm going to, so it was in March sometime that she called me. In 30 days in April, I'm going to bring you $50,000. I got on the phone, called this realtor who kicks ass. She came and walked it, and she said, "Yeah, I get you a buyer for 65." And she got me a buyer for 65. I made a second contract. That person agreed to pay me 65,000. I sent both contracts, the one for 50, the second one for 65, sent it to the title company, and buyer wired the money in. Title company look at the contract. You get 50, you get 15. Was my first deal. I only wanted to make $5,000. It was on my vision board, and I made $15,000 on my first transaction of wholesale real estate. And from that point forward, I said I would never abandon this because it's like free money. It was like free freaking money, literally. It only cost me stamps in an envelope at the time. Did I get lucky? Possibly. You know what I'm saying? But I only sent 4 communications to her. You know, and she called me. House was sitting vacant. And I would see the house every day. I walk my son to the bus stop in the morning. Every day I pick him up and from school and walk back to the crib. And that's how I got him. Not only did I get that deal, I got the house on the next block. And I got a house on the it was 3 streets in a row, literally on the 500 block that I got houses on. You know what I'm saying? Just walking and seeing them and whatnot. And sky's the limit. Last year, we did over 6 figures. Last year, I'm yet to crack 7, not even close to 7. That's a lot of transactions for 3 people, and I'm not even doing acquisitions. And really, at that time, only two of my 2 partners was both doing it, and one to fade out and do another part on dispo, which is selling it, and the one person will, But we did 6 figures. Real story, 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? And so when I say build a team, like be versatile, meaning like, hey, listen, we want to learn this. You know what I'm saying? Consistency is the key to it. You know what I mean? But sky's the freaking limit, man. Sky's the limit. So if you ain't got no money, but you see everybody got $100, you know what I'm saying? Do you know for $100 you can get phone numbers from 10 cents or even 12 cents? You can get like 833 phone numbers if my memory serves me correctly. Take $100 divided by 12 cents. You should get like 833 phone numbers. You know what I'm saying? And then you can call those phone numbers because now you only got $100 to your name, but here go 100 vacant properties though, right? That I can spit out through my software, PropStream, search for vacant properties. It do cost $99 a month. So let's just say you only got $200 and you pay for PropStream. But say you ain't even got that and you know me, well, fuck it. I'll run a list for you. It's free. And the software, I'll run it through the software. You'd send me $100 to pay for the list. I'll pay for the list, export that shit, send it to you. You start making phone calls and call to people. Hey, I see your house, such and such, 123 Main Street is vacant. I just want to see if you'd be interested in selling the house. What's your plans with it? How long you had it? What you gonna do with it? Start building rapport with them. However you want to angle it, right? Yeah, I sell it to you. Bam. Okay, put it in contract. Right? Put it in contract. Find you a buyer for it. Bam. Make that money. Only thing you're doing now is selling the contract. You're selling contracts. Do you know your mortgage is assignable? A lot of mortgages have been assigned. It's no longer with Wells Fargo. They gave it to Bank of America, right? The same thing with bill collectors. A bill collector is making business by saying, "Hey, how much Sharita owe you? Sharita got good credit. She don't owe nobody, right? How much Sharita owe you? Oh, Sharita owe you 1,000. Well, I give you 200 for that because you ain't caught up with Sharita's ass. Yeah, shit, cool. I'm cool with that. Give me that 200 because every time I call Sharita, she don't answer. She don't get nothing. So now they assign it to the bill collector. So now the bill collector say, okay, let me see what Sharita at. Let me start sending these letters. Yo, Sharita, what's up? You owe that $1,000. So now Sharita may say, cool. All right, I'm gonna pay you. They like, shit, we just came up. We only paid 200 for that debt. And shit, we got 800 in the profit. Or Sharita may say, hey, let me negotiate. I'll pay you half. That's the best I can do. They were like, okay, cool. Pay that 500. We just doubled our money. We only paid 250 from the original credit person. If Sharita wants to pay it. The point is the debt is assignable. Okay. And so this is a finance game. Contracts are assignable. So you're selling your beneficial interest inside of the contract. I'm selling my interest. I got an interest in this contract. I'm selling that for a fee. Hell yeah. So now we selling paperwork. Can't beat that, man. I swear for God, you can't beat that. And this is one of the ways that you close the wealth gap. You close the wealth gap by doing these deals. And if you can get your money from a point where you can say, you know what, I'm going to take the money from this and I'm actually about to buy my first rental property. Hello, where you think I got the rental money from? Right? Or I'm going to use that and I'm about to use that as a down payment and I can go to a hard money lender, Lima One Capital. I got loans with Lima One right now. Shout out to Lima One for giving me money. Listen, you can get in this game, man. Lima One just called us last week. Hey, you got something for us? And really think about this. These dudes got access to millions of dollars, is calling me because I let them refinance 2 of my properties that's already free and clear. Look, I got property that's free and clear, but I needed some money. And I'm like, yo, how much you? Well, listen, for this one, we'll give you up to this. And I said, okay, I just want a smaller amount. Give me this for that. And give me this for this one. And they said, all right, cool. I said, all right, I take that money, pay some people, and then take the rest of that money, go buy another property that's free and clear. One of the ones I got that I'm about to make a video on this week. And so now I got that property free and clear. You see what I'm saying? And so now only thing I got to do is rent it. That person paid a note and whatnot. I could refinance that one, lump sum of money, and go repeat the process known as the Bird method, right? Buy a property, remodel the property, got to improve it, rent the property. Now it's bringing in income, refinance. Hey, bank, hey, lender, I got an asset that's free and clear. It's worth several thousands of dollars and it's making me money every month. You want to give me some money for it? Yeah, I give you 70% of the value. Yeah, I give you 80% of the value for 30 years. Cool with me. Now, I know a lot of people don't like that. Dave Ramsey, you know what I'm saying, don't like that. That's cool. But it's a lot of billionaires use leverage other people's money. So it depends how you look at it. Is it debt? It is, but guess what? My tenant pay for that, homie. I don't pay for that. I took their money, bought another house, put a tenant in that house. They paid a note and I keep the difference. And since that house is free and clear, I go back and repeat the process. That's the last R. I go back and repeat the process. And I'm playing with house money now and not playing with my money. And my tenant is paying the bill and it's free after X amount of years when they pay it off. And I just keep playing the game. And if I want to leverage right and whatnot, okay, cool. Money from host, let me go ahead and pay the loan off and then recoup that cash flow to come back in my pocket. Don't matter. You see what I'm saying? But my point is, now you got millionaire institutions that's calling you, Noble. What you got, man? What's going on? So in other words, bro, let's do some more business. You in now. You're in Lima One Capital. You're in now. I want to give you some money. What you got? So now only thing I got to do is what? Find a deal or let them finance some of this stuff I got free and clear and take that lump sum of money and do something else. You see what I'm saying? So now you in a space where people throwing you money. I got a letter right there on the wall. I swear to God, I'll go get it right now. Hold on, cause I'm inspired, man. I'm motherfucking inspired. Oh. I threw the letter away because they sent me a flyer too, right? So I actually threw the letter away. This Dominion Financial. But they sent me a letter, and what they did was they noticed that I just purchased a property. So they sent me a letter and they like, hey, congratulations. This literally was said, congratulations. I wonder if it's in the trash. No, I took the trash out, so it ain't in there. Congratulations on your new purchase, 123 Main Street and whatnot. We have several programs. If you're keeping this property as a rental, we offer great 30-year terms. We can't be beat. We give you 90% of the value. Whoopty whoopty whoop. Call me. Send me another letter. Congratulations on the purchase of this house. If you flip in the house, man, we got offer great terms. We give you 90% of the value. We got bridge loans as well and whatnot. Give us a call if you flip it. So they got two different products, a flip loan and a renter's loan. They don't know what I'm doing with the house. They just see that I recently bought it. So now they fishing for business and sending me shit. I want to give you some money. Bridge, what did it say? Y'all see that? There we go. Bridge loan, fix and flip. See what I'm saying? Throwing you money. So now is no reason why we should be in a position of not having anything in the real world, real estate in the real world that's tangible and physical. And there's no reason for us not to have some things that we can transfer over to the next generation. You see what I'm saying? There's no reason why we can be broke, but it don't mean you poor. Let me be clear about that. My Uncle GC Grant Cardone taught me that, right? Stay broke, but don't be poor. I stay broke. Broke as a motherfucker. I'm the brokest motherfucking millionaire on the planet because every time I get money, bro, I got to put it to work. Money sitting there don't do nothing. Y'all see inflation lately? Money sitting there don't do shit for me, but loses value. So I'll go buy a house and rather have a house that may, even if it's vacant. I bought a house for $11,000. $11,000. I wonder if I got pictures of that house. Don't worry, I'm about to make a video soon of it. $11,000. And honestly, it just needs some updating. But Miss Woods just lived in that house. She moved out and moved with her daughter, but old ass cabinets in there. The cabinet's so old it ain't got doors on them. You know what I'm saying? It's just shelves and whatnot. But only thing I really got to go in there is to give me new cabinets, give me a new counter, lay floors all throughout the house, paint the shit, trim at the bottom and whatnot, add an AC unit, and I'm done. Right? $10,000. I got it on the market right now, just testing the market, seeing if I can get 60 some thousand out of it, just to test the market to see where it's at. You see what I'm saying? But my point is, man, I'm telling y'all for real, seriously. See, I told I'm about to start running my mouth again because I don't talk about it enough. Two things. One, built $1 million portfolio real quick in a very short period of time. Show you how to do that shit. Wholesale is the basis of doing it. Two, I don't know if anybody here yet, but I don't think I ain't seen nobody here. I got over 50 families that I help feed every single month based off you utilizing this and getting properties, man. Seriously. And I ain't selling no master course to do it. It's more about, I'm all about partnership, man. For real. Seriously. I'm all about partnership. Where is it at? Do I got it on here? Hold on. Hold on, man. Because see, I gotta do this because we're gonna have to separate the real from the motherfucking fake, like my nigga Pimp C would say. You know what I'm saying? So where would that have been at? Did I download that? Did I? I I gotta get it off my other computer. It's on my other joint. Um, what would I have? I would have called that. Let me see something here. What would I have called that file? Mm, I'm looking for a video. I'm looking for a video. I thought I downloaded it, but I must ain't downloaded it yet, and it's back here on this platform and whatnot. But I'll bring you the we had a call a couple about what 2 weeks ago. Coley Cole, Justin. If Justin here, you know, he may be in the chat. I ain't seen him yet. But he was on there. Jamarcus was on there. Omar sometimes be in the chat. You know, he was in there. They'll tell you, like, yo, well, I've been doing this for some years. We've been doing this for some years, getting paid. You know what I'm saying? And here's the kicker. And here's the kicker. Because ain't nobody, and I'm convinced of this, ain't nobody sharing. Ain't nobody sharing the opportunity that I'm sharing. So let me be clear about this. I want to be clear about this. It's one thing to just share game and give people knowledge. That's great. But when that opportunity come and you buy some shit and you got the power to buy it for yourself, or here it is right here. Do you, where is that at on here though? April's money call. So hold on one second. Let me I ain't gonna load it up. I'm just gonna share it real fast. Hold on. Let me see something. All right. And so April's money call. Hold on. I'm gonna load this shit up, man. I'm gonna bring some motherfucking receipts. Niggas got me it's only one other nigga that I see out here on the spirit that's bringing some goddamn receipts, and that is Anton. And so I fuck with that because he bringing some receipts. But boy, you done motherfucking motivated the right motherfucker, because I've been sitting on shit for years and shit. And see, and what I'm saying is, let me present that. I'm trying to figure out where the hell is that file. Let me drag it to my desktop real fast so I can just get it. Hold on. Here it is. That bad boy long too. It's 50 something minutes long. All right, hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. It's coming. I'm gonna say this before I share the screen. I'm gonna say this, and hopefully I can hit that audio button. It's one thing to give people information, but then when you got an opportunity where you can capitalize, and you do capitalize, are you willing to share that opportunity, to take less of a share, to take less money and share that opportunity with the people, right? And so, in other words, I'll be clear. There's two properties that we own that's next door to each other. I already paid for them and had them. Nicole would say, hey, I got money in my retirement that's just sitting there only making 4% a year. I can double that and give you 8%. She can go get self-directed IRA, and then we do it the right way, and then basically we get I get reimbursed for the properties. And here's the kicker. True story. The first property I had on a land contract, meaning the owner of the house only wanted $30,000. I gave her $15,000 in cash and told her I would pay her, I forget how much it was, maybe $200 a month every single month, right? I think it was $200 a month for maybe 84 months or something to equal the next 15,000 that I owe her on the back end, which was a great fucking deal because guess what? It was no interest on it. Meaning that 15,000 that I owe her is going to be due in 7 years. And she's not charging me no interest. And I'm paying her like $200 a month. Nicole comes along, ain't really making no money inside of her employment, inside of her retirement account. And then I say, I'll double that for you so you and your daughter can be good, right? She's single mom, but dad's in her life and do his thing, right? Right. But she's still single mom. But so you and your daughter can do good. I'll double that for you. Okay. And when I bring her in, let's just say I pay her $233 because I do off that particular house every month, $233.33, right? Is what she gets paid off that one particular house. But I was just only paying Pam, who sold me the house, $200. And my tenant was paying that down every single month. So in 7 years, you know what I'm saying? That house is free and clear from Pam, and then I get all that money. But if I bring Nicole in, I'm actually about to lose money by paying her to bring her in the deal. But I get my money back because she come in with a lump sum of money. I get my money back, and then I can pay Pam off her 15,000 in cash, which I shouldn't do because it's free, because there's no interest on it. It's free money. But now I'm sitting here, got to pay Nicole, and guess what? If I sell the house in the future, I still have to give Nicole back her original money that she put in. But if I keep Pam as a partner and let my tenant pay Pam off, I don't owe nobody shit. And I make more money every month. But what I do, what did I do? I let her come in to help her family. So that's the type nigga I am when it comes to this bread, because I got Jupiter in Taurus, man. And it's in the 11th house of friends, right? But I'm saying, like, okay, let's really go get it then. We can figure it out. But now we got to be invested in it so we can go all the way in and figure out. So I share opportunity for real, for real. All right. So hold on. Share tab audio. Can I do that? Say share screen. Let me know. I hope y'all can hear this. Let me see. Share. Hold on. Share system audio. Oh yeah, y'all about to hear it. Here it go. Here it go. We're gonna hear a little something. See
You can
what
write it on a
Coco's talking
napkin
about.
for all we care.
Right there.
And that's
right here.
and Ampu, as you all know, he's fast moving, right? Success moves fast, and I am more slow. I am a processor. I am more.
Okay.
I am not like you, right? They say one thing and it's up, it's posted, it's done. And so that was really something for me to
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on.
and moved me in, but then set us up for, different plays.
Real fast. But talk a little bit about, what your situation was and why you did it.
Okay, so exactly like you laid it out. I don't want to replay it, but I was no longer working at that organization, so I wasn't contributing, and we were doing the numbers. You just kind of you helped me with the math, and it made sense. And I think it's a big part of what you said. It's about love, and it's about relationship, and it's about the longer vision, because you did explain that essentially bringing me in, you showed me how that positioned you out and moved me in, but then set us up for, different plays. And I think when we got next door, that was pretty cool,
Right.
when that was able to happen. But I think the biggest thing is a lot of times we're scared. I was somebody who went to college, graduated college, you put your money in retirement, you keep it there. And even though I had left the job, I had been scared to touch it. So that whole self-directed IRA and IRA, that you kind of walked me through that. We found a great place to do it. And it really, after that, it really was quite simple. We had a contract. They were kind of like, you could write it on a napkin for all we care.
Right there,
And that's
right here.
and Ampu, as you all know, he's fast moving, right? Success moves fast, and I am more slow. I am a processor. I am more.
Okay.
I am not like you, right? They say one thing and it's up, it's posted, it's done. And so that was really something for me to. It wasn't. It just was. It was so foreign to me because I had not had that language, hadn't had that experience. But it's just been it's been very comforting. And I don't even tell a lot of people because, like you said, people hear it and they think, oh, well, you gave your money to someone. How
Y'all get my point, right? Let me see. Could y'all hear that? I hope y'all did hear that. Hold on. Got it. Hold on. Stop screen share. Were y'all able to hear that? Let me know. Let me know if y'all was able to hear that. You heard it? All right, cool. So I ain't gotta explain it. I mean, and there was another brother, Omar, came in on there, and that was just that night. And I'm telling you, private partnerships is where it's at. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I ain't trying to get your money. I want to get money with you. Let's get money together. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I ain't I got mixed feelings. I understand it's your time, it's your effort. I get that, right? Again, I'm just built different. So I'm gonna challenge myself to do this. Hey, me sharing information with you on here, like that's passion, right? That's for real. That's passion. I'm not gonna withhold. Oh yeah, you got to join my class to get this. The Patreon is more of okay. We want more dedicated time for you to be able to build with me. You see what I'm saying? You ask me a question, bam, it's there. Boom, there it is. That's what that's for, right? The challenge for me is, well, how can I reverse this scenario? Reversing the scenario is you actually make money by coming in contact with me, not you just giving me money for information. You see what I'm saying? Let's get money together. You see what I'm saying? That's when it becomes a win for me because then I know it's like, okay, cool. That's what's up. That's how it's supposed to be. Because my philosophy is once you in a situation, like, what if what if I don't want to do business with them? No offense. Why can't I just call you up? Yo, Sharita, need 50 bands. Let's go in on this project. You may be like, listen, I can do a short term. And I may be like, all right, well, cool. Let's do it for like, short term, maybe 120 days. At that point, I'll bring in another partner. If I can't bring in another partner in 120, then I'll go ahead and I'll bring these people in and let them do it. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, you may say, cool, let's do it. Just give me a quick 10% return on my money real fast. Man, like why can't we do that amongst each other? You see what I'm saying? And so that's what we actually embarked and did. I just don't be putting it out here. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't got a lie. I can go pull the goddamn roster, and that's what I'm starting to do every month. Is like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get these people so they can tell, because a lot of people then been motherfucking scammed out here by people. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't the flow over here. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never gonna have to worry about that. That's not happening. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the power move that we making, man. All right. All right. All right, man. So sorry, man, but it's been a nice build. 2 hours and 47 minutes. And shit, I've been gone all day, man. I'm gonna get out here, go check on my little baby son and whatnot, even though he a whole 17 years old, but that's my baby boy. Go check on this dude, see what he doing. And get back on this PowerPoint, man, and just start working. So I'm burning. You was scam. Who was you scammed by? So the people can know. So the people can know not to do business with them people. Say, put that on the record. Who was you scammed by? You know what I mean? Hey, hold on. Before you even say it, I'm gonna write 2 names down. Okay, I don't even see it. Here go my paper. I got 2 names now. I'm gonna go with 2, and I really got a third one, but I ain't gonna even put him on there because I don't think I ain't gonna even put him on there. I'm gonna spare him for right now. I got 2. Who was you scammed by? I got 2 names. Who was you? Who? Oh no, I don't know. I don't know that person. Not at all. Nope. I don't know. All right. Thank you, Coco D. Appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. Um, Disclaimer: I'm an Aquarius. I'm an Orthodox we talk about Desiigner, we can go into Bible, we can go into the stars, we can go into real estate, we can go into history. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like, the best I can say is like, what's my man name? Benjamin Franklin. Go look at his jobs. He was a philosopher. He was actually the president of the American Philadelphia Philosophical Society. He was an inventor. He was a scientist. He was a diplomat. He was possibly, if I'm not mistaken, ambassador. He was a statesman. He wrote founding documents for the country to get his start. Volunteer fireman. You understand what I'm saying? When you got the energy, and I believe everybody have it, right? And you don't have to be, in all these different things, but certain people just exude certain types of energy. So I thank you all for staying on with me, rocking with me. I really appreciate you. Y'all, the real 1%, the special ones, because we didn't cover an array of topics. And what's definitely not out here that I'm seeing is, again, I'm not necessarily seeing the spiritual blend into the modern, what's like behind me, what's hip, what's going on, you know what I'm saying, of the culture, understand the culture, but also striving to understand the spiritual connection to it. And at the same time, how do we implement not only that to better our lives, but some physical things such as, hey, real estate, land acquisition, to be able to better our lives at the same time. So we get a nice 360 holistic view around here. So I really, really, really appreciate you. If you want to learn the astro science, man, join me on the Patreon. They got some homework assignments that they got to do. The link is already back there from today's private webinar that we did. So it's there, you know what I mean? It's only $15 a month, you know what I mean? So join the Patreon. Would love to have you. Who is that? Purple Star Goddess. Somebody else too. I gotta get with Miss Felicia Muhammad. I seen some people back there where I think you tried, but it didn't go through per se and whatnot. But make sure that you just, push it all the way through so we can make this happen. All right. So with that, I will see you all on the next video. Please like the video, please. That helps the algorithm. Like the video, subscribe, and definitely hit the notification button. The most important thing to me is hit the notification button, because when we go live, you can chime in. All right. So with that, I will catch you later. Peace.